I don't have anything funny to say for this video, but apparently if you just say, for the boys...
Prescription at the drugstore. I remember it's the first time that I realized I'm getting old and life is a nightmare. I'm getting old, I just found my first gray hair. Nobody cares cause all the kids in today's pop scene were born after 1999. I will say goodbye, I'm getting older all the time, and no, I'm not as relevant. My old songs are pretty sweet. Please don't mind what I'm trying to say, cause I like the nostalgia when I hear you tell me my band is here to stay. Even though we don't want to change, modern musicians really freaking blow.
Hello, everybody. I'm here, and so is Ray, and Carl, and Scotty. The boys are here. Hello. Boys' night this Friday, or Saturday. It's fucking 5 o'clock. The boys will be there anyway, unless it snows really bad, and then I'll just go fuck myself, I guess, because I live in the middle of fucking nowhere. Hello. I was late today. I was late because I thought my child was resisting sleep, because when I left him, it took me like a half an hour to get him to actually go in his bed and go to sleep, like close his eyes and shit. And all I could hear when I got down here was the frantic screams of children. Now, this office, this part of the office anyway, is right under my mother-in-law's room. I guess my mother-in-law is listening to violent child murder porn or something.
Yep.
So I actually have a Roku remote.
I feel like that's what everybody would do if they had to live in the same house as you, though.
I feel like I believe that's possible.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've got a Roku remote that accesses everyone's shit through the Wi-Fi, so I'm gonna fix that.
Oh, so you do have the remote. Every time she complains about the remote, you do have it.
No, she doesn't want to use this one on her phone. It's not like the other one.
I see.
It's not like the other one, Ray.
Oh, it's just an app on your phone,
Different.
you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She can't figure out how to turn her phone on.
But you know what? Yeah. But you know what? I did find my keys. They were in the couch. I came home from the doctor's the other day, and I took a nap on the couch, and I guess that's what happened. So, crisis averted. Hooray! We are literally phoning it in this week. I don't have any topics.
Oh, I mean, I got a bunch of shit.
I know you do. I know. There'll be mostly questions for Smokey, and he'll take 4 hours. So we'll fill the block.
Well, here's the thing, man, is that today I'm actually in like full-blown destruction mode. So it's not going to be the same.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you might hear that and think a certain thing, but like full-blown destruction mode doesn't mean like you're angry or agitated.
Is this the whole thing where a Saiyan gets defeated in combat and suddenly comes back stronger than they were before? Is that what this is gonna...
No, this is.
Are you just going to be a cunt all night, Carl? Is that what's going to happen?
Well, I don't know. Ray's throwing out that kind of energy. I might be.
Well,
Just
I
go
mean,
take your dick pills.
it's more like imagine, if you will, an ocean of energy that is not necessarily malicious, but voracious and ferocious. And you've mired yourself. You've sunk deep within its depths, and you have fully accepted it.
Hey, what in the fuck are you talking about?
Well, you know how like
Did you get a new vape?
No, that's kind of the problem.
Oh,
No.
okay.
So like you know how you get this.
There will be totally legal tobacco, by the way.
That's good. So like the volatile energy that you spew at the fucking heathens, Smokey, like that kind of energy, right? Except imagine if that was in complete control.
Here's the thing, Ray.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure
Oh, boy.
this is explicitly clear, not only for you, but for everyone else, if they don't really know that much about me and might be watching. It's not really about that so much all the time. I mean, I may use colorful language and certain vocabulary and pejoratives to describe certain people, but the understanding of my audience or anyone that had followed me was the understanding that these are not just misplaced random filth thrown at the wall. These are all incredibly precise.
Yeah, they're like toddlers that you're kicking.
No, not really that. It's that my terminology that I choose to describe them is very precise and is logically justified. I'm not just throwing garbage at them. See,
No,
this
that's
is the
not what I
thing.
was implying. I was just implying the
No, I
type of
understand,
energy that you
but
like
I just-
exude when you're like, whenever we have any of those dumb cocksuckers that come in here to chat, like Doctor,
Right.
you exude this type of energy, which is essentially like destruction energy. That's what I was talking about. Not like any specifics of behind what
Well,
you
that's
say
fine.
or what you do.
But I want you to understand that the particular view of my methodology of that, it's more dismantling. Like when, just as an example, Bill, everyone remembers Bill. I completely dismantled Bill's entire goddamn psyche to where the man, even still to this day, is obsessed with me 3 years after I've talked to him. I've not talked to him in 3 years, and he's still absolutely fundamentally
Yep.
so
You're living
obsessed
rent
with
free.
me that I am the top of his list of people to avoid. So, I mean, we gave Knock a full-blown actual psychological breakdown. Like the man admitted openly on air that he needed to get therapy because of the antics we had pulled on him. And nothing malicious.
Yeah, he saw he went into a gas station and bought one of those ice cream cone things, and some guy was looking at him a certain way, I guess.
That's right.
And he just left the shit on the counter and just walked out. And I was just, the whole time he's telling us this story, it's like, why would you tell us this?
So
We're talking about it 3 years later.
So Ray, I just want to be clear, the destruction energy that I particularly put out there, as you so eloquently defined it as, really is the complete and utter dismantling and dissection.
I wasn't
human
implying
being
that I'm using your destruction
performance.
energy. I'm using something far more grand than what you use.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Well, I'm excited to see a demonstration. So
Yeah.
let's get to
Well,
it.
I can
What's
sure. Like
our,
one thing is that we kind of glossed over is I mentioned like you were like kicking toddlers. Like that's what those guys are. Like you're so far above them, they're literally
Well,
like toddlers. So it's like
that might be true. That might be true, but you know what? A meat grinder needs meat. You know what I mean, Ray?
yeah, sure. I mean, it's just
Or like a
Out of
wood
all the-
chipper.
out of all the targets in the world, the toddlers are the least of my concern.
Agreed. Well, and the thing is, Ray, if you understood my lore, you'd understand I fell into that out of a sense of Christian moral obligation.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, if opportunity arises to destroy, why not? It's great. It's fun to destroy. That's one of the reasons that, like, Smokey reignited the flame for my faith, and then Will actually doused gasoline on it. I had no idea. Like, I don't really care about heaven. That doesn't matter to me. But Will was talking about the Great War and the Battle of Armageddon, and I'm excited for that. Like, that is way better than heaven to me. That sounds fucking amazing.
Sure.
If I get to join that, bro, I get to cut down some cocksuckers, fucking stab the devil. Like, that would be amazing. That sounds fun. That's like better than any fucking video game I've ever heard. To fucking slash at the fucking devil, cut that cocksucker down, fucking sign me up, bro.
Well, Ray, I will tell you this. I would not trust Will to be a good guide of extrapolation of the contents of Revelation. I'll just say
Well,
that much.
It's
know.
in there.
I want to live in a world where Jesus Christ is the fucking man. I love him. He's great. He's amazing. He's literally
Okay,
the
well, then
best.
you do want heaven, because the definition of heaven is wherever God resides. And the fact is that the next eternity that extends after this, the next age or the era, that stretches for the end of anything, like stretches on forever and ever. That whole era is all about being in the presence of God. That's what it's all about. And if you're in the presence of God, that is by definition heaven, or paradisio, as they say in the Greek, paradise.
Well, I guess I should frame it this way then. is that I'm most excited for the Battle of Armageddon, and anything after I don't care about.
Well, but Ray, I don't know if the Battle of Armageddon. Okay, hold on. What do you think the Battle of Armageddon actually is?
The battle between the forces.
The
of
dead are going to
God
rise
and
from the grave, Carl.
No,
The dead are going to rise from the grave,
No.
and the armies of heaven versus the demons.
this is problematic.
No, it's
Well,
not.
I think the Battle of Armageddon, if you're talking about the actual Battle of Armageddon reference in the Bible, is indeed synonymous with the Battle of Megiddo, which is, essentially
God.
where the evil armies of the world surround the camp of the Lord, intending to attack and kill and destroy, and God wipes them all out, and the blood of the massacre rises in the valley up to a horse's bridle.
Well, I guess
He's getting real fucking technical.
Be regardless of semantics, because I don't actually care about semantics or like specific details. I want to be a warrior for God that gets to cut shit down. That's really what it boils down to, bro. The Battle of Armageddon's irrelevant. I don't care where it is. That's what I want.
I get what you're saying. Okay, well, I'm not going to argue this too much. It's not really worth it.
You can't tell me you don't want to do that too, bro. With the way that you treat these fuckers.
Here's the thing. You know what I want? You know what I actually want, buddy? Is I want justice. So
yes, you do want the same thing then. Like, what does Hitler deserve? What's the justice that he deserves? That kind of person. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are people that actually deserve to just be fucking obliterated, dude. Like, honestly. Like, here's a newsflash, because we talked about this at a few podcasts ago. You can't save everyone. In fact, not everybody is worth saving.
Yeah, but how are you to decipher or discern what justice is?
I'm not. That's God's.
Okay, then the idea of what Hitler deserves is irrelevant.
I was just using that as an example because that's like one of the most atrocious abominations of a human being that we have in recorded history. I'm not talking about in this existence, in this human life, in this world, doing any of those things. I have no intention of doing any of those. I don't think it's my job or my right or my place to take somebody's life or to inflict pain on somebody else. That's not my job, not my privilege. I don't have that right. However, when I'm in the army of God, that's a different story.
I think you're okay. It's fine. To me, and I'm not saying you're necessarily wrong. There's lots of things that can occur in the future that are not necessarily always completely revealed in scripture. I don't know, maybe you get to be a foot soldier or some shit in something. But the way I extrapolate Revelation is it's not really about that. You have to understand, Ray, like you're talking about the creator of all of reality descending upon earth to exact his justice and rule. What the fuck does he need a soldier for?
What does he need any of it? Like, why did he create angels? Why did he create humans? Why does any of it exist then?
Well,
obviously it's for his amusement or something, bro.
But this is the thing. Well, that again, I'm not saying it's completely impossible. Again,
well, think about it like this. Like something you just said is that like they might not necessarily have all the details in the Bible. Well, think about like how long humans have existed. They don't have every fucking day written in the Bible. They just have like.
I'm aware.
I'm
aware, but I also don't think it's healthy to kind of make wild extrapolations about possibilities just because they rest in the vague innuendo of the uncovered sections of scripture. Like I find that to be also equally potentially problematic.
It's more so that I would rather be prepared for an opportunity than not.
Okay, well, fine.
Like,
God damn it.
Like if I'm just saying like that's what I would like. I don't get a choice in it, obviously. I'm not God. I'm just
I think the theological perspective, and just if you care about the theological perspective, like the legitimate hermeneutical, completionist perspective of the extrapolation of scripture and the interpretation of the final events of Revelation. If you care about that at all, and I don't know if you do or not, but just to share it with you, there is a certain necessary climactic filtering down of essential responsibility and judgment to God Almighty, and particularly to the Son. Now, the fact that all of the judgment falls by bequeathing from the Father to the Son to judge is an establishment of a very strong, necessary principle that Christ alone is worthy of the stance and position of final judgment. Therefore, to draw any other type of contrary conclusion to that, such as you could be subsidiary judge as a soldier, striking down demons and sending them to the abyss or whatever, is potentially borderline blasphemous to the core theological Christian perspective.
Well, what is a soldier? A
of
soldier
Christ being
follows
the
orders.
absolute final judge.
A soldier follows orders, bro. You're not being a judge on your own. You're following orders. That's what a soldier is.
Well,
And that's like one of the things that I pray to God for. I ask him for that. It's not like I'm saying,
I
hey,
just
this
think
is what I expect. This is what I think's going to happen. I'm just saying.
have
that
you
sounds
read
great.
through? Have you read through Revelation?
I
At
have.
all? Okay.
Yeah, I read. I'll be honest with you. I've read the New Testament a couple of times, and I haven't touched the Old Testament. I tried reading the Old Testament, and then I think it starts out with like 5 pages talking
Okay.
about like ancestry, and I just don't care about
So
that.
so let me paint one real clear thing to you too, and this is kind of essential because I think this maybe will even help you understand at a slightly deeper level. Satan is not God's only enemy.
Nice.
So for instance, and I'll just give you another example explicitly from Scripture, Genesis 6, the Watchers. What did the Watchers do? They were of an angelic type of species. God knows what exactly, but some sort of powerful, higher tier, creature that God had created for the primary purpose of basically seemingly observing humanity. But they decided they didn't want to just observe, that they wanted to rule, that they wanted to own, that they wanted a piece of this creation that God valued so much. So they perverted that creation. They sowed themselves amongst the humans. They bred with them. They taught them metallurgy and smithing and sword making and warcraft and strategy and all of these things that spurred them from being a relatively innocuous, if not even somewhat peaceful set of people into a thriving urban metropolis of debauchery and excess, which ultimately caused
a hedonistic society, right? That's
correct,
basically
which ultimately caused the need of the flood. Now, again, not all of this is biblical canon. I am referencing and taking some stuff out of the Book of Enoch, which it is arguably not necessarily part of Christian canon as part of the Apocrypha, but still, I think interesting and does make sense.
Well,
so I will cite it with an understanding that it does have a strong reflection of anciently held Jewish tradition and culture that even is referenced and mirrored in parts of Scripture, including with the scapegoat of Azazel, which I'm not going to go into all that. But there are aspects of what you see in terms of the tradition of the story that is reflected not only through the Bible, but also through actual Jewish history, which tends to give me a little bit more credit in it, which is why I cite it here. I tend to find the tale very interesting. So anyway, so this is an enemy. This is an enemy of God. And if many Christians reading the Bible, they don't pay attention, what they would realize is there is a part of the book that is definitely God versus Satan, but there's also another big part of the book, which is God versus the Watchers.
I mean, I'll take on anybody, bro. I don't really care. But the one thing I wanted to ask you, this is what I believe. I guess let me make this statement and hear your guys' responses to it. There's more that we don't know than there is that we do know. And that also includes the realm of God and anything related to that.
There's no way you could say that thing that you know about what we know.
How so?
Well, I mean, it's logically invalid. Like,
all right, name all the species at the bottom of the ocean. Name the amount of planets that are in the universe. How many stars are in the universe?
Maybe I misunderstood what you were actually saying. Say it again for me then. I misunderstood you.
There is more that we do not know than there is that we do know.
I mean, it's not a logical argument, but I'm okay with it. Sure. Okay.
I mean, I think it's kind of logical. Like, our universe is very vast and God is far above our universe. So it's like those are two things that more than likely we will never be able to fully map. At least not with our.
I'm
human
fine
constructs.
with it. I wouldn't argue it. I mean I wouldn't present it as some sort of logical proof of anything, but I'm not going to argue it.
It's the point of it isn't necessarily as a logical truth. It's to question.
It's just the philosophy,
it's questioning possibility. That's what the whole.
Well,
point
it's
of that
just
statement is.
my only hesitation, Ray, is that the epistemology, the study of knowledge is it's it's kind of a complex field sometimes in the sense of making knowledge claims. I don't want to get into the whole thing. There's things like, for instance, called justified true beliefs, which are beliefs that you take a hold of that you only believe if they have a logical, valid justification to believe.
Oh boy.
So, and like, so when you make claims of like, we know that we know this, like logically, it's a nearly perpetually invalid statement. That's all I was getting at. That's all.
I mean that I literally could prove it though with every single human being, is that I could ask them all the things they know. I could have them list out everything they know from their.
Well, that's an individual basis,
and every single individual would apply to that, because I could ask them the same
Alright,
questions about the.
I have an illustration of what Ray's trying to say.
The absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence.
What?
Simply because you don't have evidence that something does exist does not mean that you have evidence that something doesn't exist.
What?
What country you from?
What?
What ain't no country I ever heard of. They speak English in what?
What?
English, motherfucker. Do you speak it?
Yeah.
So you understand the words I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is that there are known knowns and that there are known unknowns, but there's also unknown unknowns. Things we don't know that we don't know.
What?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more time.
What?
why is Samuel L. Jackson voicing a white character in a
That's kind
black
of the whole
television
thing.
show?
I was thinking that. That's pretty fucking funny.
That's kind of the point.
I think
All right.
they're I think.
Well, thank you
some
for
of
that. I don't think that had absolutely even a little bit to do with what we were talking about.
I actually agree with Will. No. I actually agree with Will. That's pretty much the point I was trying to make.
There are known unknowns, things that we know that we don't know, like what he was talking about with the planets and the stars and stuff. Like we don't have oh my god, it's actually Wildheart. This is gonna get either. We'll see how.
Oh, bring him in. Bring him in. Bring him in.
Oh, really?
I miss him. Wildheart, how you doing,
Wow,
buddy?
been a hot
You're
minute.
muted,
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, thanks a lot.
bro.
What's
You
it?
still drinking all the time? Have you gotten off the
Yeah.
drink yet?
We don't want to get into that, honestly. Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, bro. I pray for you, and I hope that things turn around for you, man, and that you're doing really well.
Cheers. Thanks a lot. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's
Don't let me stop, though. I've not been watching, so I don't know what the topic is right now.
well, there's no topic. We're phoning it in tonight, so it's just kind of whatever comes
Okay.
up thing.
I
So
didn't know you were back.
Wildheart, you always have a brain dead atheist question for a panel. Did you maybe want to throw something out there?
Oh yeah, Praises started in 2 hours. I'm gonna be talking about biblical slavery and just go to condone slavery, which he clearly does.
That's
But, yeah.
ridiculous that you still try and argue that as a moral
You
problem
don't
from
think
the
God-
paradigm. It really is amazing that you even bother to still argue that.
Yeah. So if I make laws for something, am I saying there's a right way and a wrong way?
Can I ask you something, Wildheart, just out of curiosity? Do you find it at all ironic to join a stream on a laptop on information systems that were built by the Chinese government that employs slaves, and therefore show up on a stream to debate the wrongs of slavery while using equipment built by slaves to do so? Do you see any irony in that at all? Or
I'm not debating whether slavery is immoral or moral. I'm asking, does God condone slavery in the Bible?
Oh, absolutely.
The answer is yes.
Oh, absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
whether I'm slaves.
Yeah, multiple places all the time. And you know why? Because there's nothing wrong with it. That's why. Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing actually wrong. In fact, just because you enjoy the perception of additional freedoms by the leverage of financial systems and monetary systems, you are still a slave to the system itself for any type of comfort or enjoyment whatsoever. Otherwise,
that's
oh, you're a slave. Oh, you're absolutely a slave. In fact, all the people in your prisons are slaves. All the people in our prisons are slaves. And the great thing about us is, unlike the gutter trash British, we were actually honest about it. And see, when we had our Constitution written, we said that we abolished slavery except for the incarcerated. That's the 13th Amendment. Yeah. Now, you guys, of course, over there in that shitty little garbage rain island that you fucking live on over there, fucking Mario World, you guys think that it's okay that you can just enslave people, but just as long as you don't call them slaves, you're somehow moral paradigms of the fucking European Union. So I just want to say, yes, God does condone it. There's nothing wrong with it. And as an atheist who has no functional objective moral paradigm to operate from at all, has no grounds to even claim it's wrong to begin with, let alone misunderstand the fundamental benefits of allowing a culture that does not have any financial or monetary systems, regulated trade, or production infrastructure to employ a servitude type market, which is why so many countries, even though they're part of the United Union, even though they're part of the UN, the United Nations, they still allow slaves in many of these countries that are part of the Union, even though the United Nations has said slavery is to be abolished. And do you know why? Because if they abolish slavery in these third world countries that don't have the infrastructure to handle it, it would be cataclysmic and lead to massive amounts of war, death, poverty, and famine. So you have no fucking clue about how the world actually works as a shallow-brained, brain-dead fucking atheist who goes around trying to make these shit fucking arguments over and over again, even though I have destroyed them for you over and over again. Your brain is pickled, bud. I'm sorry.
Oh dear, I seem to have spotted a cunt. Good day.
Well, I'm sure that was an answer to some question, but none of them were mine.
Let me say this to you, Wildheart. So how long can you go without eating food?
A few weeks, couple of months, I don't know.
Yeah, there's no shot you can do that, bro. You personally.
No, I don't know. That was a guess. I don't know.
You're a slave to food. You're a slave to air. You're a slave to this mortal existence. Every single fucking human being's a slave.
Define slave.
You're the one who fucking made that claim. You define slave. I don't need to define shit. Someone being owned by another human as property. That's what you define slavery, by another human being. Yeah. That's how you quantify it. What about all the animals that are in the animal farms, like the cows and the chickens that are just being humans? So that's not slavery then. You don't care about that. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to my point. That's what I mean. Oh. 20 minutes, he answered some questions, but none of the ones that I asked. And so, like, what about when somebody commits a crime? What about when somebody commits a crime?
Oh man, you guys are missing it. You gotta collect a paycheck. You have to collect a paycheck to provide for your basic needs. And so you go to work and they pay you barely.
Have you ever heard of the NBA? Have you ever heard of the NBA? Basketball?
Can I have 10 seconds, please? He went up 20 minutes. I've not had a chance to respond. Now he's going on, you're going on, and there's about 50,000 different questions that I didn't ask. I asked one question, and no one's answered it yet.
Okay, so you said you wanted 10 seconds for something. Say it.
That was it.
We answered it in multiple different ways. You just don't grasp it.
Why?
Say it again. Say it to my fucking face.
You bastard. Well, why do you think slavery is okay? Why do you think owning another human?
Do you think it's okay for somebody to murder or rape?
Again, not my question. I don't know.
That's not. I know, but I'm asking that as part of my answer. Do you think that's okay?
Just the question. Why do you have to answer another question?
Because you're not grasping the fucking concept, bro. That's what you're not getting. I have to lead you there because you're that fucking dull. Jesus Christ, bro.
Because some type of slavery is required to extract value from another person in order for somebody else to live. It's all the same thing.
Could you not do the same thing without the slave?
What do you do to a murderer then, or a rapist?
No.
What do you do to them?
Prison. You send them
and that's slavery.
No, it's not.
That's what Smokey just described to you, bro.
Does the-
What do you
does
mean
the
that's not
president-
slavery? They do the license plates and shit, bro. They work for 10 cents an hour. You don't
Yeah.
think that's fucking slavery?
Let me know.
If you don't do work for somebody who's exploiting you, right, then you don't eat, or nobody's going to come along and provide for all of your needs.
The
And you
government,
think the government's going to be able to do it for how long? How many people can give up being exploited in the way that they're currently exploited, to the effect that you're essentially a slave in everything but name, and then continue to, how long could the government function? Probably not very long.
the government pays me my money that I use. The government
No,
doesn't
seriously,
tell
to the
me.
government.
Fuck's sake.
Right. Yeah,
One
they
thing-
tell you what kind of groceries you can buy, what kind of milk and who you can buy it from.
You just that. You can go to a different supermarket. They don't tell me what food to buy. What you want to buy?
Well, you
Well,
don't
they tell
live
you
in
how much you
council
can buy.
housing?
Sorry?
Don't you live in a council flat?
Yeah, it doesn't mean the government tells me.
Okay.
Well, they
You're
tell
living
you how,
on government property,
basically,
receiving
they'll tell me.
government housing and government money.
they're
so
telling you
somebody
how
else-
much you can be afforded. They're telling you how much you can be afforded.
Hold on. So somebody else, the value of somebody else's labor is being extracted from them by force to pay for your shit. So that's slavery by proxy, as far as I see
They're
it.
paying me. If that's the point, they're paying me. I'm clearly not a slave. They're giving me
No,
money.
they're the slaves. That's
No.
what Will's trying to claim.
No, yeah, that makes you a slave owner by proxy. The proxy here is the government.
You're the one that's getting the fruit, bro.
was
You're
great.
eating the fruit. You're eating the fruit, and you didn't plant the
The
fucking
government,
flower.
the government is extracting value from people against their will through taxes. That money then goes to you so that we can have this conversation right now.
So you can get drunk off your ass to do fucking nothing. Think about that. You're getting drunk off your ass doing nothing, and you're getting money for free. Does that sound like that's a good thing? Is that a fair system? Is that okay? Is that acceptable? You asked about slavery. Is that acceptable? That you
I don't
sitting
know.
on your ass doing fuck all,
And actually-
getting drunk, calling up
I
hookers.
just want to say I've made my complete argument, so I'm just gonna shut up, and that way he has less people he has to respond to.
But he says, and I forgot your question. What were you saying? The government doesn't own me. They give me money, and I do fuck all.
How many times do we have to
Yeah,
tell
is
you
that a
that-
slave?
that
That's
in
the
this-
opposite of slavery.
listen,
I do fuck all,
listen.
and they give me money anyway.
Right. So let me say it
Because I'm
for the
being a
fucking
slave.
fourth time now.
Yeah.
You are the slave owner in the example that Will was playing out.
Yes.
Because you are the one getting the crop
I do
without
fuck all.
having to put in the effort. How hard is that to grasp? What value are you providing for your community
then-
or the world that is
Okay, I can
rewarding
answer.
you with your money?
Well, that's
The
Prime
answer is
Minister.
nothing. You're not doing anything.
So you ask me the questions and answer them. That's a little unfair.
Wait, so what's our topic? What's going on now?
I don't know.
No, this is
I
dead.
knew that 5
It's
minutes
over.
ago.
It's pointless
It's
now.
slavery, I guess. I
Yeah,
don't
so
know.
do me a favor,
That's really
Wildheart.
expensive.
Wildheart, if you go debate that raving retard praise on this particular topic, do me a favor. If he doesn't say anything as clever as what I did, tell him to play this shit on his stream and
Yeah, somebody
educate
clip
the
it.
fucking retard audience.
No Olive, absolutely fucking not. It's
Nice looking man. All right.
Yeah. If anything I said was better than him, and it will be, just remind him to go ahead and play the destruction of your atheistic retardation, live here on this stream. So
This is such an argument, so I can't respond to it.
why do you care whether or not God promotes slavery? Why do you care? Like, what does it matter to you?
Right, one question. Can I answer it, please? Please. Can I answer?
I'm waiting. Yeah. Why do you care? Why do you give a shit?
This time? No. I care because I think slavery is immoral. And God
You
is supposed
think
You don't because
You
you're
think
fucking involved in the system, bro.
you think things.
close to a full sentence. So close.
You motherfucker. Go ahead. You think what? You think what, Wildheart? Go ahead, please. Take your time.
I think slavery is immoral. Your God is supposed to be perfectly moral. If he does something immoral, then he either doesn't exist or he's not perfectly moral. That's what I care.
So are you okay being immoral then? That's
Well,
my question.
it's the same argument you've had for 5 fucking years.
Here's the
Because I'm not
question.
even get a fucking answer off any
I
fucking
gave you an
question.
answer.
You've
I've
gotten
given you
several
an
answers.
answer so many goddamn times.
You gave 100
There's
answers to
nothing
the question
morally
that I
wrong
didn't
with
ask.
slavery.
You gave 100.
Whoops, there it goes. Yep, my brain stopped.
Fuck's sakes, Wild Heart.
No, you gave 100 answers to questions
There's
that I didn't
nothing
answer. That's
wrong
what you
with
said.
slavery.
There's
Okay,
a-
here's the
there's
answer.
a
Here's
monologue
the answer. I'm going to
and
make it
you
real
asked me
fucking
fucking
clear to you.
questions.
There's nothing wrong with slavery in principle. Just in certain aspects of practices and certain cultures, it was bad. As a principle, there's nothing wrong with it. You can
Okay.
be good to your slaves, you stupid asshole.
Respond. Right, that's fine. Calm down. Right, so you think under certain conditions it is okay to own people's property?
150 fucking %.
Well, I disagree.
Okay,
you're
well,
gonna-
based on what moral standard, Wildheart? Based upon what objective moral paradigm are you laying that claim in your modern first world comfort of developed resources and infrastructure that allows you to have a monetary system that lets you have the illusion that you're not a slave? Go ahead, Wildheart. Tell me what moral standard you operate from to judge anything as wrong at all, let alone slavery. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. That was enough one. What was the question?
I get it. I don't get it.
I can't.
So you
I
think
can't.
it's
I
not
can't.
moral?
I need a break. I can't.
Go get a drink, Smokey. So you think you don't think it's moral, but you actively participate in it.
Was that his question? Or is it
No. I'm talking to you, bro. I don't know why you keep fucking pointing. I'm the only one talking to you now.
So I can't answer this. You won't repeat the question, which took 10 seconds before the 5 minutes of bloviation.
I don't know what fucking Smokey said. I wasn't paying attention because it doesn't matter.
I don't know. Go on, ask your question.
So you think it's not moral, but you actively participate in it. So is that okay?
Actively participate in what? I don't. The government
It's,
doesn't own me. And
what do I actively participate in? I know I'm getting the free money that I don't work for. I know I get the free money that I don't work for, but how?
Retarded? So I know you're not retarded, but what are you, Down syndrome?
I don't work at all, and I just drink and fuck hookers, but I deserve that because I'm Wild Heart.
Is it possible for me to drink and put cookers and still be correct? Does that make me wrong? No.
I didn't say.
Address the argument.
You have no way. You have no way to decide what something is moral or not moral. And if
Can
you
you
do, go
say-
ahead and explain it. Explain how you can decide when something's moral and not moral. Where do you get that judgment from?
Do you want to ask me to explain it 5 more times and then give me a chance, or can I do it now?
I don't know what the fuck. I don't know why you're in this kooky fucking world where you think like you're this mastermind and we're just trying to play games with you. We're literally answering your questions and you're just sitting there like a bumblefuck doing nothing.
You may think you're haven't come close, yeah.
Bro, you can't even do a fucking push-up. I don't know why you're getting this cocky smirk like you're
Well,
something
well,
special.
then. Yeah,
Will, get him
I
out of here. Get him out of here, Will. It's done. Get him out of here. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Jesus fucking Christ. Holy shit. Forgive me for
He answered
mentioning
his
the Lord's
fucking
name in vain.
question
But
so many times. And okay, whatever. It's like I think maybe he just has.
dude, he was way different than he was the last time I spoke to him. He was not that fucking up his own asshole.
Imagine going to 1 million people and asking them what color the sky is, and them all saying blue, and then years later still saying no one's ever answered your question about what color the sky is.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's so many different ways. Like that, we could have broken that down in so many different ways to answer his question, and he just didn't want to hear any of them.
You don't want to hear anything. No, that I've done this with him for years. It's the same shit every fucking time. It's what's your question, Wildheart? Is God okay with slaves? Because I don't think in my big atheist brain that slavery's okay. So if God's okay with slaves, then God isn't moral because I'm more moral than God. Because
let me just rephrase it another way. Let's say you're a vegan, right? Because you think animal products and eating meat is animal exploitation, right? and
Yeah.
you're sitting there every day. Every day you go to the fridge and you pull out a fucking hamburger and you eat it. You're like, well, I need protein to survive. Like,
Dude, I mentioned that. I mentioned that to him.
that's what I was trying to say.
I
And
know.
it's like,
No, then he
I don't know.
classified it. Oh, it's when a human owns another human. Like what? You can definitely
it's
enslave
when a
things
person
besides a
eats a
human being.
You're
hamburger.
owned. You're all owned. You are
Yep.
property of the United States government. If you fucking live here, you have a social security number. You're branded. Like you can't escape it. You owe taxes every fucking year that you fucking live. You're not a slave. What
You're
the
a slave
fuck
to
are
the
you
world,
talking
too.
about?
Even deeper than that, you're a slave to the world. You literally need water, air, food to survive. You can't fucking survive out in space. You can't even go to other planets. You're stuck here. You're a slave to the planet.
Every species on this planet exploits members of its own species in order to survive.
You think the government
Right.
doesn't own you just because they say you're free? Like
Isn't
seriously?
isn't sorry to disturb the conversation. Isn't there like a whole point in regards to rights working in the negative sense, where, for example, in healthcare, do you have a right to a medical slave and their time and their energy? Because
I mean, I personally don't think you do. I don't think you
No,
have the
but
right to
you know
that.
what that does? You actually reminded me of something else.
Hmm.
I'm wondering if Wildheart got the clot shot under duress or because he thought he had to, because I'm pretty sure there's plenty of people around the world.
Well, basically,
They're
they
not
had a $50 bonus for taking the shot, so he immediately signed up so he could go get his dick sucked.
Okay, I want to make this just explicitly clear. If there's
Okay.
anyone in the chat or the video that's going to be watching this that there's any curiosity about this, I do hold the position that morally acceptable to have slaves. Completely, absolutely, fundamentally, I would say even essential to the survivability of certain cultures with certain levels of infrastructure and development. In fact, to try and deprive them of the ownership of slaves before the time that they have a level of industrialization to survive it would be a moral abomination. So it is actually good to allow for slaves. Now, that does not mean I support the brutality or the ridiculousness of the antebellum slavery, which was an abomination of the standards of slave keeping that was explicitly denoted in the Old Testament, which taught these people to be treated like people, not cattle or just property to be sold and abused at whim. So what happened in America with this stigmatized version of what Western slavery actually was is not what slavery has always been.
It's more like indentured servitude. That's what
Listen,
I imagine it as.
So here's my position. I don't like slavery, right?
Well,
I don't think that we should do it. However,
Well,
I
you're a
don't
Jew,
see
bro.
a way I don't see a way around it. I don't
Well, that's
really
the point.
see any-
That's the point.
Right.
That's
Until
the
we
point.
get hold on. Until we get a matter replicator, like a real one, where we don't have to extract value from other humans by force under duress of like not being able to live in a house with heat, not being able to, like drink milk with
It's fundamentally
calcium
the
in it.
process of consumption. It's the whole circle.
You know
of
what?
consumption.
If you're even on this stream bitching and moaning about slavery, you're a fucking hypocrite. Because you're fucking doing it on technology and materials and hardware.
Drink
that was-
milk.
that
Dairy
was
is good
built
for you.
and produced in countries that have slaves. Slave economies built these things that you are going on the internet to use to complain about how immoral slavery is. And I don't see any of you faggot atheists writing a bunch of notes to the United Nations
Milk's in my
telling them
face.
that they need to finally enforce, no slavery in their member countries like China and India, who, by the way, belong to the UN and have the most slaves in the entire fucking world, and yet do not have to relinquish their slaves or stop having slaves, even though they could, because the UN does not enforce it, even though they say they require it and desire that there to be no slavery in the world, and don't even enforce it with their own fucking member states.
Have some Weetabix and milk, kids. Have your
Well,
Weetabix
I mean,
and
like,
milk.
if he really gave a shit
Your
about it,
bones
he'd be doing something more than getting drunk and banging hookers. You know, like he actually doesn't care. He
Yeah,
wants.
if
He's only going to
Wildheart
accept.
was a
He's only going to accept an answer that proves his fucking fucked up paradigm, and anything other than that, he doesn't care about. That's why he couldn't even listen to any of us speak. He kept asking what our question was because he was so fucking turned off to having a conversation. He's only looking for validation for his obviously skewed worldview.
If he was any kind of a man, he would be drinking milk right now. I'm just saying.
You're all hypocrite. All this weird cultural horse shit of slavery is universally wrong in every single possible context. You're a fucking retard.
There's definitely some cases, and I think that this should be mentioned. There's some cases where slavery is.
Just because people can abuse penicillin doesn't mean we shouldn't have it.
Well, no, but I just mean to say,
I really
it's
got to
not
get the ingredients for that. I feel like that's something we should know how to do. Anyway, carry on.
It almost felt like we were stating that slavery is to be expected in all capacity, and I don't think any of us were actually implying that. I think we were simply stating that there's a time and a place for it. There's a time and a place for it. Yeah, Professor fucking Oak, bro. You try to ride the bike in the shop, that's what he tells you. There's a time and a place.
Nobody's going to get that.
You're all just under the illusion of the idea that you're not actually owned. It truly is absolutely absurd cognitive dissonance that any of you human beings in this Western world think that you are not owned and property of the government in which you reside. That is astounding. That is absolutely astounding that you are so goddamn brain dead and oblivious that you do not see the tethers and ties and the chains that hold you down to the very system of which you operate in daily, adopting this illusion, this lure, this fucking matrix of reality that you're a free human being. Oh my fuck. So if they let you choose which restaurant you go to, you don't care about whether or not every other action of your life is being dictated to you?
Well, if they stop sending the checks, bro, he'll change his tune real quick.
Fuck!
This is the destruction energy I was talking about, by the way.
I just want to point out something real quick. Me, you, and Wildheart, Carl, look like we're in a competition for like a receding hairline contest. I'm catching up to you guys. Look at this shit. What the fuck is even that? What is that?
I actually have.
What is that? Oh my god! I've got like a widow's peak.
Vegeta.
Oh my god!
Vegeta. What does this counter say about his power level?
Yeah, he could. Yeah,
I'm loving it.
I always thought of him more as Trunks, but yeah, now I'm seeing more of the Vegeta stuff. Yeah,
I look like Count Dicula or something. I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Count Jugula. Count Dreidel.
Count Sakula. It looked like the world's gayest artisanal vampire. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't argue that.
I was turned in like Staten Island or Manhattan. I look like I belong to like what they do in the shadows or something.
Oh, the shadow.
I look like I should have walked in a fur coat with a fucking
wait. I can't fucking wait to come back full time and start debating slavery again. I can't fucking wait for that shit.
So
it's
remember that talk,
guys.
Remember that talk about destruction energy I was talking about?
Oh, was that it, Ray?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get it now, right? Like when I try to use the best words I can to explain.
It's fair because I almost, the thing is, like, there's a moment where I shift a gear, and Will knows this. Will's even
picked up on it.
Actually, what's funny is Will picked up on it really, really early in our relationship because we had Von Helton on once, and oh Jesus. We had Von Helton on once.
No, I just put him on because he wasn't in the room, and I thought it would be funny.
So we had Von Helton on, and this was early. This was like within a couple months of me and Will really even knowing each other and kind of interacting. And Will invited me to come on with Von Helton, which was essentially always going to be a roast of Von Helton, of course, naturally.
Psych, that's the wrong number.
I'm such a fucking 2-year-old. I'm sorry.
That was great. Dude, how fucking pathetic is it that we got him so good that he's sitting in the back room just itching, waiting for a chance to come in here and do nothing?
By the way, Coffee Brand Coffee has yet to pay me. They
Yeah, fuck
haven't
them.
paid me since fucking. They owed me. Okay, so they owed me in October. I should have gotten paid in November. They owe me November, December, January, and in like a fucking month, it'll be fucking February too. Because people they just do their regular like. Not a lot of people want to do the roaster's choice fucking thing where they got to jerk off Jeremy Hambley into a fucking cup and then send a stool sample along with the sperm to they don't want to do all that shit. So they just got a little sticker. They scan the fucking QR code and they place their fucking order. That's what they do. I haven't done for a month. And
Why don't we have a sponsorship yet for Super Male Vitality? Why has that not happened yet?
I don't know, but look at this. See, I should. I
yeah.
will.
Well, there
I'll
you
do
go.
it.
Yeah. Oh, see. Yep. Something we can try and enjoy.
Minoxidil treatments. There you go.
I'll try growing hair back in places that it hasn't grown in a decade. Sure, I'll give it a go.
Oh, is that not the website for like the erection pills?
I should just get a pube transplant.
Okay, I found it bizarre. I don't know
what I should do. Okay, so what I should do is here. Let me turn my camera on. I'll get the Jew curls down the side, and I'll take the side parts off and put them where my hair should be. I'll just be like a jigsaw puzzle of pubes, and like, or I'll take like the beard, and because I got lots of pubes. So
well,
I've
that's
got a
what
lot
I thought
to
your
work
beard
with.
was.
You know,
I thought you got it. I thought your beard was your pubes, bro. I thought
Watching you get old is amazing and hilarious and interesting.
Great.
I'm glad. Seen him a decade ago, bro.
It's like
that
watching
kid. That fucking kid ages
Smokey.
Me. Everybody in this room has been on the phone with me while my son was doing something fucking retarded. It's not his fault. He's 3 years old, 3.5 years old, and he just does retarded shit. And like, I was on the phone with Ray the other day, and he's like, do you remember to get strawberry syrup? And I was like, fuck you, Ray. Fuck you, Ray. Yes, I did. Yes, I did get strawberry syrup.
That goes to show that I pay attention to you and your family, bro. I know it's important.
Yeah, he's gone.
Blue Eyes White Dragon and strawberry milk. Those are the two most important things in Will's household.
Yeah.
But Smokey, so a decade ago, bro, okay? I'm not going to go into a whole thing because I know you don't like those stories, but I just want to give you.
He's not even kidding.
Oh, no, it's fine. I love hearing stories about places I've never been to with people I've
you've been to a Walmart. No, you've been to a Walmart. I'm sure.
Yeah, Ray, I've been to a Walmart. That's
all right. So imagine you're walking into a Walmart.
Your Walmart, but yes, I have been to a Walmart.
They're all like the same, man. So it's like I'm coming into Walmart. I'm new at the job.
You know what it is? It's like a fucking Bethesda game. It's all the same interchangeable NPCs inside, just with slightly different.
Just use bats, bro.
Yeah, right. Sure. Okay. Yep.
So I'm new on the job, and I just clocked in, and I'm going to the back room to go to my locker or whatever, and I walk past Will, and he looks at me, and I look at him, and I don't really recognize him, but he obviously recognizes me. And he just walks up to me and starts talking to me. And I think in my head, this dude is going to murder me in a back alley. I have him saved in my phone from then as Will Hayhook, because I always thought he would carry a hayhook to fucking cut me down, bro.
You know, people got those vibes from me my entire life, and I don't know why.
Why do you give a psychopath vibe? What's that about?
I don't know. Why didn't you pick up the psychopath vibe that literally every other human
gets? I don't know. I never noticed that.
Well,
if you were in front of him, you would have. If you were in front of him, you would have.
I have.
Look, somebody who's met me in person, IRL.
I've been in front of the man. I've hugged the man.
Yeah, but that's after you met him. If your first experience with him was walking up, like him walking right up in your fucking business, bro, you would be like, dude,
step back. Fucking
get your fucking dreidel ass out of here.
He's like a foot shorter than me.
No, I'm not. Oh yeah, that's right. You're like 7 feet tall. You're right. Yeah. Okay, so can confirm. Carl is fucking enormous for some reason. I don't know what the fuck they got out in there in the water. It's probably all those fucking human growth hormones in the fucking.
It's all the gays.
Cafeteria milk, because that's where he hangs out. Elementary school cafeteria.
Well, Will, don't you eat Catholic babies?
Can confirm.
Not
I can
recently.
confirm.
Well,
No,
so
I'm
Ray, you know,
I'm
how-
on a diet. I actually stop eating when I'm full now. I don't keep
That's
eating
good.
because
Ray,
it tastes good.
Yeah.
you know, like how you have sometimes you have those posters of like Dragon Ball Z where it's all the Z characters all standing next to each other.
Yep.
And you like get a good idea of like what their height is and their stature and stuff. And Goku
Uh-huh.
is always seemingly some of the shortest.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like Piccolo in that fucking picture.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah,
dude,
you
it's
got
like
the same fucking
Ginyu Force.
haircut, you green cunt.
There you go.
Like
Yep.
Ginyu
see?
Force, he's Goldo, and you're like fucking Raccoon.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It hugging Will felt like hugging a teenager, and it felt weird and awkward.
Will probably really liked it though.
He did.
Oh, that's The Exorcist? Oh, she's fucked.
I have a clip that I'd like us to watch. If it's okay.
Oh. Oh.
Beautiful.
Well, I'll tell you, boys, I'm already having fun.
I'm having a good time. I'm glad that we went into this without an actual fucking plan.
I don't even care if
I've
anyone
had a
ever
plan.
likes this video.
Anymore.
I'm enjoying the shit out of this. Fuck all of you.
Yeah, dude, fuck them.
Oh God,
Smokey, by the way, I'm
boy.
gonna build up your destruction energy and teach you how to utilize it.
Okay, buddy. Sure, I'm looking forward to it.
I am too, man. Dude, you can't fathom the amount of power that both of us could like exude on a single individual. You know what I mean? Like fucking Beerus and Champa. No,
I
fuck
know what you
Champa.
mean,
He's
buddy.
too fat. Fuck
I know
Champa.
what you mean.
The
Well, by the way,
Combs music.
Oh, Will, come on.
Vegeta, you think that just because you're the prince of all Saiyans you're the best there is at what you do. But let Raccoon tell you something, brother. You ain't no Wolverine. And you ain't got what it takes to step up to a 5-time champion. You see, Vegeta, you sit there and brag about how the Saiyans are the mightiest warriors in all the universe. How they're the most ruthless. Well, look at where they are now. Dead. You talk about your legends and your warrior race and your pride, but that doesn't mean a damn thing to this man, because the name's Riku, and it rhymes with doom, and you're gonna be hurting all too soon. You talking more smack, Vegeta? Silly Vegeta. The only thing Raccoon sells is merchandise.
Jay, why are we watching this?
No. We were actually just talking about. Okay, so Carl, can I talk about the mission that I'm on? I won't get in. I won't say like his name or anything. I can't tell the story without mentioning the thing.
Pitbull.
You know what, buddy? You know what? I trust you. Do you?
Okay. So we're looking for Smokey's possibly dead father, who has literally no social media footprint at all. And I start poking around, and I swear to God, Lo, I fucking thought I found him in Clovis. But I sent it to Carl, and he goes, "Nah, that's not him." I'm like, "Fuck." And I was just thinking about that because I was like, I haven't thought about Fresno or Clovis in like, I don't know, 3-4 years. Like, fuck, that was a trip. I was like, God damn it, that's the one that I keep calling Festus, because Fresno, Clovis, Festus. It was we're having a situation. My brain, I got brain fog. Big retard hit me in the head with a fucking wall, and now I'm
Oh yeah, and so to tell you,
fucked up.
I made a deal with William that if he could track down my father, which I believe to be impossible. The man is a con artist and a brilliant one. If you can imagine the father figure that spawned someone of my particular brilliance. You can imagine if someone
My father, like water-headed idiot.
yeah, if someone decided to take my level of intelligence and direct it to nothing other than scamming people and doing horrible, disgusting, malicious things, that you would have my father. So the likelihood of William being able to track him down was slim to none. Yet Will believes that it would be cathartic, if not therapeutic, for me to confront the man and discuss what a disastrous piece of shit he was and how it disrupted my entire life. I personally find it to be a useless venture. I know exactly what he would say as being a pathological liar that would make every excuse under the sun to justify his disgusting, ridiculous behavior. I would find personally, to me, no value in it. In fact, I could already picture exactly how the conversation is going to go. But William has insisted that it would be incredibly personally, mentally, and soul surging beneficial that I confront my fucking deadbeat shithole fucking father. And if
I don't know if it's necessarily like a conversation that you need to have with him. I think it would be beneficial just for you to see the dude. That's it. Just to even see him in person, I think would be beneficial.
Harley might be dead. And it's going to be really hard to track him down because he's been running from every goddamn government jurisdiction in the fucking country. So I find it to be very, very unlikely that Will's going to be able to track him down, even if he is fucking alive. And considering his prolific habits for alcohol abuse and cocaine consumption, I find it extremely unlikely that he's still alive.
Well, can I ask you something, Smokey?
Sure, buddy.
Do you forgive him? Do you still hold animosity in your heart for him?
Oh, Jesus Christ, Ray, really?
Well, I mean, I could make an assumption and say that you still hold animosity because that's the way it appears. But I mean, my perspective on it, because I'll be honest, I kind of had a slight conversation with Will about this. I noticed in our past conversations that that's like a chink in your armor. And I love you and I want to see you at your highest potential. So I think that's something that
I'll definitely let you know,
need to
by the way.
overcome. And I don't think you need to be in person or talk to him.
I think that people are over exemplifying its impact to me in some ways.
Well, you kind of spew out some pretty strong destructive energy when you talk about him. So he's a
horrible human being, Ray.
I understand that.
He abandoned my family when I was 5, left me with my grandparents. Did disgusting shit, foul, disgusting shit, which I dare not even repeat right now at this particular point. And he's an embarrassment.
How old would your father be right now? Sorry for butting in.
60s.
He's being in his late 60s, early 70s.
Well, that explains it. Geriatric sperm. You know what? That answered all of our questions.
It's just kind of like
he was in his late 20s. I think he was like 28, and my mom was like 23 when they had me, something like that, something around there.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting you're old and bald. Right. Well, not the bald part, just the old part.
I don't mind being bald. It doesn't bother me. I actually think I look awesome bald, so I don't really give a shit about that.
I'm glad somebody does, but
I think I'm handsome as fuck, and you can just deal with that.
Yeah, fuck you, Will, and use you magic.
Well, regardless, like either way, in the Christian faith, you will obviously see your father again at the final judgment. So
true. Yeah, that's a valid extrapolation.
The irrelevant, like the most important thing I think is that. Well, that's enough, bro. Let me get this.
I
this is
swear
important.
to God. Fuck.
It's hurting you, bro. It's hurting you. And I understand exactly what you're saying. I have not lived a day in your shoes.
You guys are exaggerating. It's not hurting me. You guys are exaggerating.
The fact that you're getting this influence of anger and rage, of upset, which I'm not saying you're not justified. I'm not saying that at all. It's just
it's no more different than the righteous indignation I would give to any other moral piece of shit. It's
like I mentioned earlier that I wanted to cut the fuckers down in the Great War, and you told me that it's not my place to be that judge.
Well, correct. Well, theologically, I'm just saying theologically, if you're extrapolating consistently from Christian theology, that would not be what you would get from it. That's all I was saying.
Yeah.
TLDR, you shouldn't.
I mean, I can have disgust for the man. I think I'm entitled. It doesn't mean I'm, necessarily harboring, this type of necessary animosity to the man. I don't think about him unless someone else mentions it, like Will the other day. I don't
Well,
really.
that's kind of the point. Is like I'm fairly confident that I could poke at you at like the father thing and get you really riled up, and I don't want you to have that weakness because I love you and I care about you. Now it's your choice. You can do whatever you want in your life. I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm just kind of like presenting.
I think you guys are trying to invent a particularly deeper.
No.
It was real apparent in that Goku debate.
You agreed with me when we had this conversation the other day that I might be right.
Dude, it was apparent in that debate when we were talking about Goku being a bad father. Like I could have immediately, like if I didn't like you, that's what I would have done. Is I would have immediately started attacking you about your father, and it would have been a free victory. Obviously, I love you and I care about you. So
I don't agree with that because even though I did have a shit dad, I still have an understanding of objectively justified version of what a good dad is.
I didn't mean in terms of the debate of like the conversation of the debate. I mean like I would have poked at you at that if I didn't like you. If you were somebody I considered an enemy, I would have poked at that.
That's fine. It wouldn't bother me. It wouldn't bother. What you think? I like have an issue with someone telling me my dad was a piece of shit?
No, bro. It's stir up waters to catch fish.
I don't get. I don't. I think you guys are really kind of like trying to magnify this into something that I don't think it is.
Well, I'm not saying it's like an overwhelming issue for you. I'm just saying it's definitely a chink in the armor that I would have exploited had I wanted to destroy.
Here's the thing. I will admit this, and I said this to Will, and this is true. I'll go ahead and admit this because why not? Why the fuck not? Enemies will use it anyway. Probably the only person in the entire fucking human race that I don't want to confront is him.
Yeah, I get that.
Like I'll take on anyone. I don't give a fuck. Send them all. I don't give a shit. I'll take on anyone anytime over anything, except him.
I'll take him on for you.
I don't really want to talk to him. I don't want to. I just don't want to. I don't see any value in it. I don't see what I get out of it. I don't.
No, honestly, I don't think you should waste any time or energy hunting this cocksucker down or spending any time because, like, I have not exactly the same situation, but I have a similar situation with my mother.
I know what would happen. There's no point to it because I know exactly what would fucking happen.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm just talking about the issue within yourself, not necessarily like what Will is talking about hunting him down, not what I'm talking about. It's not what I'm talking about.
All right.
I'm talking about within yourself. Like that's the only place where it really matters.
I think that was Will's point, honestly. It's fine. The thing is, don't think like I haven't found a way to actually come to my level of terms with it. It's not like, not only have I come to terms with it, I've actually scrutinized myself and recognized the various aspects of my life where there was limitations based upon the influence of a strong male father figure. And I attempted to do everything I could to supplement those. And like many young men who were deprived of a father figure, I collected father figures. And I did all throughout my 20s. And I gleaned a lot from those different people that I brought into my life specifically to be basically a male role model for me to help give me ideas or perspectives of what it was to be a successful man in society. And I think a lot of young men who are deprived of fathers tend to do the same thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But that was my life. And in that process, I did come to terms with the lack of any type of real beneficial father figure. I won't lie. There are those moments where there's a sense of almost emotional yearning of what it would have been like to have a dad. What I was given as a replacement was a monstrosity all of its own. Right. And I'm not going to get into that, but the point is that at this stage in my life, these things are dealt with and compartmentalized. Like these are not core, instigating components of my character or decision-making. Like these are things that I've digested and reminisced about and considered and processed. And it's not like you guys are talking about something I've never thought about before or dealt with before.
Well, I'd like to actually just speak about my experience with my mother. So she lives, or she did, I don't know where she lives now. She lived about 15 minutes away from me, and she had court-ordered visitation rights, so she could visit me anytime she wanted. And I saw her basically at Christmas and sometimes at my birthday. And then when I went into high school, that was the last time I saw her. The last time I saw her was for Christmas right before I went into high school, and she bought me, I think she bought me Gears of War 2 and Xbox Live. Well, that's the last time I've ever seen her. And for a while, it really upset me. It really bothered me. It left me with a lot of confusion and a yearning, like you described. And then eventually, over the course of, a decade after that, probably, I learned a very valuable lesson, which is sometimes it's better to know what you don't want or what you don't like or what doesn't work than it is to know what you do like or what does work or what is the way. Sometimes it's better to learn the bad things or the mistakes so that you don't make those in the future. Like, for example, I don't know all the specifics. I don't know very many of the specifics between the relationship between Will and his father, but I'd imagine that any of the mistakes that Will's father made, Will is not going to make them for his child.
Yeah, I was actually talking to the both of you about this separately. That I forget what year it was, but it might have been 8 years now. Let's see, 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah. So it was like winter of 2020 or late fall of 2020. I was going to make a big move in my life, a massive change. And I decided I was going to reconcile with literally everyone I could think of. Everyone that I've ever fucked over or everyone who's fucked me over. I had a frank conversation about the state of my relationship with my parents, to my parents specifically, and my dad was one of them. He wasn't the only one. I talked to my mom and everything else, and everything else too. And actually Ray was part of that conversation too. That's how Ray and I got back on terms, because he disappeared out of my life for reasons we don't need to get into because it doesn't really matter. But I like just trying to reconcile with everybody, and it was good. It felt like I could close the door on a lot of things that I didn't know were old wounds that never healed. And now all of that stuff is stuff that I don't even think about anymore. And if it comes up, it doesn't bother me at all. I could have that I feel like I could have that conversation again with my parents, and they'd be like, okay. I'm not afraid of that anymore. I'm not afraid of that sort of confrontation. And when I say I contacted everyone I could think of, ex-girlfriends, friends, acquaintances, literally anybody. It was a fucking when I was in high school, we were really broke for reasons I'm not going to get into because we'd be here for an hour. And I really wanted Skyrim. I remember it was 2011. It was November of 2011. And this one kid, he was a freshman, and I think I must have been a sophomore or a junior. He just gave me $100 to go buy the game. The game wasn't even $100. It was $60. He didn't even want his change back. And I found him over a decade later, by the way, working at the same Walmart that we worked at. And once I realized he was working there, and he didn't even recognize me. I got him. I went to my bank account up front at the fucking ATM. I pulled out $100 and I gave him $100. And I said, there's the $100. And he was like, I wasn't expecting you to give that to me. And I was like, yeah, but I felt like I owed you that. So there it is. And it took a decade for me to get it to him. And he didn't even ask for it back, but I did get it back to him. I'm not saying everybody has to do something like that. I'm just saying, I think that there's a lot of value in reconciling with people, even if because some people were like, fuck you, like, don't contact me ever again. And I was like, okay, but at least the fucking like attempt at trying, right? that was beneficial for me in a number of ways. I could get into that, but I feel like I've gone on long enough about that as is. So
Well, an analogy that you made me think of is, imagine you are walking across a beach, and in your hand you're holding a chain that's connected to a heavy fucking anchor. And that anchor is everything that you have held on to from your past that has hurt you. And you're squeezing that fucking chain as hard as you can because that's your fucking chain, bro. How dare anybody tell you to let go of that fucking chain? That's your fucking anchor, dude. That's yours. And you're squeezing that chain harder and harder, and your hand's hurting. Your hand's starting to bleed, and now you're bleeding everywhere. You're trying to drag this fucking anchor, and it's getting heavier and heavier, and you're getting more angry and frustrated, when in reality, all you have to do is let go. And then you can
that's what I've been trying to do. You don't know how many albatrosses you have around your neck until you actually start taking like a mental or spiritual account of how of like what exactly it is that's weighing you down. That's
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's why meditation is so important, because that's kind of the only place where you can like get to the fucking meat of the issue.
You know, part of the problem I have too, Ray, is that this whole complaining about past trauma and like fucking effects on your psyche and like, you know, how you struggle with it. To me, that feels a lot like fucking woman shit. I feel like guys are required, in order to be functional or valuable, to be able to overcome that bullshit. Like
some of it's woman shit. You're right, but you know what? A lot of men in this culture in the West, anyway. I don't know how it is anywhere else, but a lot of men do not have the kinds of connections that we used to have, like a fraternity style connection.
If
like
you bottle up your
a gang of friends. You know what I mean?
That's why the cult exists, doesn't it, William?
Yeah, I know, but I think there's something to be said for in-person interaction too.
Definitely.
Like that's why I'm having this guys' night on Saturday, because I think I know that I need it, and maybe somebody else needs it too. Like just to be around other dudes, right? And like the whole thing where like being able to fucking say I love you to another dude, and not have to say no homo at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I say that all the
like
time.
To actually, I know you do. And fucking Carl says it to me, and I say it to him. I don't give a shit. But I'll suck your dick.
Well,
I'll suck your dick, Carl.
I'm
not offering you, Ray. That's a little more than I can chew.
Yeah. Oh God. I appreciate that. Shit.
You just walk around like a horse that just took a leak all the time. Just like
it's not by choice, man. It's like I'm born this way, man. What
Some
do you want
people
from
are
me?
growers, some people are showers. It's just.
I thought you were sneaking a firearm into the fucking. I didn't know what was happening. I was like,
Yeah.
"Are you gonna be okay?" Anyway,
Yeah.
enough about Ray's dick.
Yeah.
His praises channel.
How's everybody's?
So I wanted to say one more thing before we get derailed here. You're right in that like giving into your emotions is definitely a bitch move, like a feminine thing.
Too much.
That's not necessarily what I'm talking about. You don't want to bottle shit up, because eventually you'll either kill yourself or be like a school shooter.
I think that's bullshit. I think if you have
Really?
fun, yeah. And I think the real difference, Ray, sadly, if you want to know the real difference between the people that will take their trauma and process it and deal with it versus the people that let it consume them and make them kill themselves, is character.
Well, we're talking. That's the exact thing we're talking about.
Intelligence. It's not intelligence. It's not brain power. It's not genetics. It's character. It's what you were. It's the values you were given in your raising. That's what gives you the power to over. Because here's the thing: we're all given shit. Some of us worse shit than others, but we're all given shit. And some of us get less shit than others and fucking kill ourselves, while some of us get more shit than anyone else and thrive. So this isn't some sort of fucking question floating around in the milieu, as to why this happens. It's a degradation and obliviousness of any type of character. It's character, Ray.
So
and
hold on.
Will has had. we have processed and risen above it, which I believe, honestly, is the true test.
All
of
right,
the
so then
being
we can
altogether.
agree then that we're saying the same thing, because that's what me and Will are talking about, is the processing and dealing with it.
Well,
that's what we're talking
fine.
about.
Fine.
It's if you don't process and deal with it, you bottle it up, and you don't process and deal with it, then you explode eventually. And
Yeah, I'll
it just
tell you
takes
where the
one bad
line
day.
is.
By the way, it just takes one really fucking bad day for somebody to turn into a fucking psychopath. I don't care what kind of characteristics you were brought up in. I can bring you to the depths of
I don't
hell,
know
and we'll
about
see what you
that.
do then.
I mean,
Well,
I'll tell you, Carl. I'll tell you where the line is between with the whole emotions thing between women shit and man shit, right? If you're talking about your problems and you're not looking for a solution, you just want to talk. That is woman shit.
Okay. Yeah, true. Yeah.
Like I'm looking. We did sort of like an informal assessment of what's fucking eating you and what the problem is. And all I said, the whole reason we brought up your father in the first place was, well, probably part of the what's caused your problems in the first place is your father, and you can't go back in time and fix that. But I feel like maybe you've just put a fucking Band-Aid over it, and maybe it's time to air that bitch out. You know what I mean? Put a little fucking dirt in it.
I don't know what you think I would feel or process or alter about anything I think or know from the confrontation. I just don't see where any utility is in it. I trust you, which is why I gave you the option that, well, if you can track this fucking ghost of humanity down, if he's even still the fuck alive, okay, fine. I'll take that as a sign.
Right.
I'll confront the man. Otherwise,
oh, there's his drink.
I see no value. I see no utility. I already know how it's going to go.
I don't think actually meeting him is going to do you any good with how you are right now. For me personally, I'm just talking about going within yourself, letting go of the anchor, and accepting.
I think any type of obsession over this is completely unnecessary.
Oh yeah, I think it's a dead conversation.
I guess that's really what I'm going with it. Like any type of sense of seeing that this is somehow supremely utilitarian to me is just an exaggeration. Honestly, that's really where I'm at with it. To be honest with you.
No, I think it's more like a minimal thing. It's just like something that I noticed myself. I pointed out to Will and I talked to him a little bit about it. And so I figured, why not talk a bit with you? If something I say rattles around in your brain and it helps you in some way, I'd be happy. And if it doesn't, well, at least I was trying.
Well, I don't even really know what the point was. To be completely honest with you, I don't know what the point was to even have any fixation on this at all. To be honest with you, I don't know what the logic.
Not a fixation. It was just a suggestion, and it just fucking came up. That's all.
All right. Well,
it's all good.
Okay. Well,
I want to read one of the quotes that I posted in the chat just because I like it so much, and it is yesterday. Not that one. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift, and that is why we call it the present.
Master Oogway.
Hell yeah, bro.
Love Kung Fu Panda.
Me too, man.
Oh boy. We can't say Master Oogway too many times because that one racist guy.
Oh.
Chuck Schumer's gonna show up.
Oh, is that the summoning ritual?
Oh my god.
Wait,
talk about being a little too Italian. He's a little too Jewish. Jesus Christ.
Will, sometimes I tell you how I feel in Discord DMs. Do I come off as a bitch?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, fuck
anyway,
you. Cool.
Just fucking with me, dude. Oh god.
No, I think
everybody's got their shit.
I think it's healthy to
I
vet
feel
if
like
you
Carl.
need to.
Carl, I'll be honest. I feel like I need a 6 or 8 year fucking checkup. Like I feel like I need to do what I did last time again.
Colonoscopy.
Because I felt like I it's hard to feel like you're entering any like. I feel like people go through eras of their existence, right? Periods, arcs, if you will, right?
Chapters, yeah.
And I feel like I never quite closed the door, or never quite moved forward. I feel like I owe some people some shit. I feel like I feel like I've got some shit I have to do. I should probably get on that.
Well, let me say this to you, Will.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know.
I know you don't.
You don't owe it. You don't owe anybody anything. You owe yourself something.
Yeah, I guess
Like,
that's what
point,
I mean. But
what's the point of forgiveness? Is the forgiveness for somebody else, for the person you're forgiving? No, it's not. Forgiveness is for yourself.
I mean, yeah. I mean, but it is. I mean, it is also for the other person. I mean,
Yeah, but it doesn't matter about the other person.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean,
No, I do, because I mean, you're supposed to forgive with, according to Jesus. So it's for you. That's really important.
yeah, but it's not just for you. It's not just for you because the other person could have their life.
Hey, a good byproduct is a good
Or
byproduct.
not.
I'm happy to have a good byproduct, but it's still not the whole. It's not the meat. I like biscuits, but I like a good steak too. The steak is the most important part of the meal.
All right, sure, okay.
But yeah, I just think that I think that if something is able to influence your emotions, it's something that you haven't resolved, and it would be beneficial to resolve.
Or maybe you just have an emotional weakness to that particular thing that you should try and gain self-control over.
And so, should you work on that then, or just let it?
Yeah, probably.
Well, that's what we're in.
That's so. Isn't that kind of the point of being a man, is to develop a thicker skin through your life so that you can sustain more and more as you get older? Isn't that kind of the whole fucking point?
I don't know if a thicker skin is necessarily the point. It's definitely a helpful attribute for sure.
I think it's unavoidable.
Definitely. Oh, 100%. I agree with you.
Then.
No, I agree with you. I think it's very important. I don't know if I'd go so far to say it's the point. I think the point is to build a fucking successful society and to make sure that life continues on, that love exists in the world, that you can teach people how to overcome their hardships and struggles and difficulties, that you can stand up when you're being beaten to the fucking ground, when you got chains around your neck and your hands and your feet, and you have no fucking, you feel like you have no control. That to stand up then, that's what I believe a man.
That's fine, but I'm going to tell you something. One of my big issues, and particularly about any Western culture, including Wild Heart's little shit fucking garbage island over there, any aspect of this Western culture is this incredible over fixation on feeling, on allowing it to rule and run everything. Like Wild Heart. Wild Heart feels like slavery's wrong. He doesn't have an argument. He doesn't have.
He participates in it, bro. He doesn't even feel like it's wrong.
He's got a feeling, And to Wild Heart, he's been spending 5 years of his fucking goddamn life arguing a feeling.
20 years actually, but
well, there you go. That's even worse. Thank you, Wild Heart. Appreciate it. Thanks, Charlie. That's literally fucking worse. That's horrific.
20 years.
The man has spent 20 years of his life.
You know what I can do in 20 years, bro?
I think it's 20 years, quite a long time.
Well, just think about this. Just think about this.
Wild Heart has wasted 20 years of his life because of a feeling that he can't justify.
Yikes.
That he can't logically extrapolate. That he can't defend. 20
that he participates in. He participates in
fucking years because of a feeling. And so I have a real disdain.
Unlike having the whole
to do with Western culture and its fixation on feelings. I think you should get the fuck over it. I think you should stop trying to chop
do something.
Someone's fucking fault, as it manifests in your life.
Wild Heart, you cunt.
yeah, a little bit. No, massive cunt.
Anyway, that's my issue, Ray. Is that I think people should get the fuck over it more often than not, to be honest with you, because I think the alternative is awful. And I think it just creates more harm than good.
Definitely.
I mean, the entire, so many horrible goddamn government atrocities are just committed because someone fucking felt something.
Yeah, don't fucking feel anything, but fuck's that.
Feeling something about social systems in the world. And doing something that's cataclysmic and destructive because you're a big atheist and you got some big fucking feelings, right, Wild Heart? Might as well make the world a worse fucking place, because it's not like you want to act pragmatically or logically or with any real sound judgment.
Dude, he doesn't even want to act at all. Yeah, how many actions have you taken in those 20 years to prevent slavery, to stop slavery? How many actions have you taken?
No.
That's what I fucking thought. You should never fucking speak, bro. You literally should never speak. Literally a fucking waste of air. You are the type of person that should be in slavery.
This is
I'm
what I'm
having
saying.
such a good
This is
time,
what I'm saying.
guys.
Wildheart has wasted his entire fucking existence off of a feeling.
Yikes.
A feeling that he can't justify, that he
man.
can't defend. A fucking feeling. And you're gonna tell me that our cultures aren't obsessed with fucking feelings?
They are. Dude, I mean, you look at our media right now. They're trying to turn everyone into a fucking female tranny.
Every
Quite
fucking
literally.
atheist out there, it does nothing but bitch and whine and moan about their feelings about things.
And their moral ground standing, too. They act like these moral fucking...
Well, yeah, because they
grand
feel like things are wrong. And they feel like things are right. And if they feel things, then other people should feel those same things. And if you don't feel those same things, there's something wrong with you.
You're a
You're
terrible
pariah
person.
of society.
Yep. It's like the horse shit with the fucking the Muslims in Gaza, or like the trannies or the illegals coming in. Oh, you don't care about those people? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I think trannies cutting their dicks off and then killing themselves, like helping them do that, doesn't how does that care about them?
I'm sick of the feelings worship, and it's prolific in the West. It's just and it makes us do really, really stupid shit all the fucking time. And it really needs to die. I want us to get back to the area where men were actually men and women knew their fucking place.
Yeah, sucking a dick.
If she bleeds, she's a thought.
If it bleeds, it breeds. You know, that's a Muslim saying. I heard that from the whatever the gay holy book is.
That is definitely a Muslim. Well, they would have to, because Muhammad raped a 9-year-old. So you know.
Yep, can confirm. Dude, I just can't believe that they acknowledge Jesus. They even call him a high prophet, but then they don't follow any of his teachings. Like, it's what a fucking joke, bro. What a fucking joke. I watched that H3H3 video that he made about Hassan, and just hearing the way he spoke and knowing that he's a Muslim, it's like, this dude just wants fucking blood. That's all they fucking want, dude. They want to destroy everybody but them, and they want to force everybody to follow they want to re-educate everybody. Like, holy shit, man. Why can't people just live free on this planet in harmony? Why? What's so wrong with that?
Carl,
Because the teleological order of reality has been rewritten by fucking selfish retards, Ray. That's why. Because there's no fucking order to anything anymore. No one is in their place where they should be, or facilitating their ingrained utility. It's all fucking goddamn feministic, catastrophic horse shit all the fucking time.
Yeah,
and
dude,
women are ruining their own lives and the lives of the men that they're supposed to be helping. The whole purpose for which they fucking exist, so that they can chase their own selfish whims and disgusting fucking flippish desires.
But bro, what color? You know, what color is your Bugatti? That's the most important thing.
Oh, of course.
You know, yeah. What color is your Bugatti? That's
you know what?
We should all take after Andrew Tate.
Anyone can have wealth if they're willing to be a fucking pimp.
Yeah, if you want to suck the devil's cock, you can have whatever you want.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, let's all be like fucking Tate, and let's all wear blouses and take advantage of women and have them do sex work so that you can skim off the top and buy mansions in Romania. Because that's, of course, the pinnacle of masculine success, right, everyone? Just be a wealthy fucking pimp.
Dude, that's not even...
That's a fucking alpha to you people.
That's the end of his story. The beginning of it is he spent his fucking life being some kind of barbarian, beating people up for fucking money. And then he transitioned into gambling and alcohol, using people's addictions against them, ruining people's lives. And then he transitions to the fucking sex world to pollute people with more addiction. Manipulate more people with their addictions.
Why don't you come in the fucking room and ask me where your place is?
Oh my God!
How about this? Hey, how about this, Sassy? How about your place is below me, right in the fucking side chat? Unless you want to come out in here and challenge
Jesus
me,
Christ, Carl,
with your fucking standard of where you think I'm misaligned in my perspective of modern cultural abominations of morality. Go ahead. Go ahead. Otherwise, I guess your place is in the fucking side chat listening to me instead of having any actual back to forth cross examination.
By the way, on the topic of Andrew Tate, I posted a lovely song of a
see, there it is. See, there's like a woman there. If you could control your anger, I would. Do you see? Oh, don't say mean things to me. I'm able to do anything a man can. I don't need to take my place underneath men. But don't say mean things to me. I don't think you'll be nice enough to me for me to debate you like a man would. Fuck's sake.
Wait. So is this person claiming that like women are equivalent to men?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, I see. I see.
Guys, I don't like the assumptions. I'd rather just hear what she has to say, to be honest.
Well, she doesn't want to because
have a conversation with me then. Smokey will stay muted and I'll
like
talk.
a woman, William, she has to control the tone and the diction and the cadence and the vernacular of her other opponents in any perspective that she wants to defend. She can't just, be equivalent to a man and show up and contend and promote this feminist claptrap horse shit that she believes. No.
I don't
think to make sure that there's boundaries and rules so that she's not too horribly fucking embarrassed by the disgusting horse shit that she believes that she can't defend.
Well, I'll tell you this. There's no woman that could ever work a daily job of being a roofer and carry shingles up a roof. I can tell you that for a fact. In fact, I'd wager there's.
That's not really my point, but
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, but their body structure, they're literally their bone structures. They will damage their body over time if they do that. So they literally cannot. And in fact, the amount of women that could even carry a single pack of shingles up a ladder is probably not very many.
Sassy, what you just said, Sassy, by the way, that's the reason that your ideology deserves to die.
Right. I very rarely disagree with Carl, and I'm disagreeing with him on this one because I think that I've heard your opinion on this before, Carl, and I think it goes a little too far. Just putting that out there.
You can say that. I'll debate you on it too. I don't give a shit. But this is why Sassy, this is why your ideology will die, because you won't defend it. When it comes down to actually having to defend it and defend it in a way to promote it to people who are controversial against it, you will fold and you will run away. And this is why your ideology deserves to die, because it's the ideology of cowards. So that's fine. Don't come in. Don't talk to me. Don't engage in a conversation. Fuck, I'd give you time. I'd give you time limits. We can each take 60 seconds. I don't give a shit. You can structure it any way you want. But you won't, because you know what'll happen.
Carl, if you want to have the same debate, I'd just ask that you bring the same heat to me.
I would. Are you defending Sassy? Are you fucking kidding me right now?
I don't know.
I don't even know what the main point is.
All right, faggot. Yeah, I'd do it. Yeah, sure. Set it up. I don't care. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, hold on. What's even the point of argument here?
Because Will is going to white knight, and I'm going to make him regret it.
Oh my God, I'm not white knighting.
You absolutely are white knighting right now. In fact, it's cringeworthy.
What's the belief of Sassy though that is in question here?
Well, apparently
he wouldn't know. He hasn't sat down and had a fucking conversation with her before. He just remembers things from 4 or 5 fucking years ago.
I absolutely have conversed with her before. And the only opinion I've refuted that she's shared is that I'm full of shit. Not why, not how, not any specifics, just that in a general sense, what I'm saying is incoherent, but she will not in any way actually defend her position or give a logical refutation of mine.
I think that the problem is that you're not interested in convincing her of anything.
Because
atheist, faggot, retard. Right. Okay, yeah,
you're right.
Throw that one
no,
out.
You're right. No,
yeah,
Sassy in this particular instance, I am 100% not interested in convincing, but more interested in using as an example of the failure of the ideology, which I already have done. So it's fine.
I know, because you're so fucking angry. You're so fucking angry, which is her point. It's like you could do so much more
not worth
damage.
Defending. Then it's not worth defending. It's not worth defending. I'm sorry. It's just not worth defending then.
Well,
If you cannot,
the real question is, do you actually believe the things you're saying are correct and should be enforceable by like changing people's opinions? Do you actually stand by what you say? Or are you just fucking mad?
not if they're committed. I already told you this. This is not something you are unfamiliar with my methodology. There is a point where I do not bother believing someone is convincible, and then they are just meat for the grinder to be made an example of. I'm not.
I know,
you
'cause
think
you're-
I'm? You
you're
think I
omnipotent,
believe that? Okay, let me ask you something, Will. You think fucking Sassy would ever stop being a fucking feminist Canadian atheist cunt bag? You think she'll ever stop being those things?
Yeah,
I
I've
think
talked
it's
to her. I
possible.
think that
Oh,
I
Christ.
think that it's definitely possible. I think it's more
All
than
right, buddy.
possible.
Well, that'll be your thing. In the meantime, for me, however, I will go ahead and ascertain the fact that if she cannot defend her ideology, then her ideology is not worth defending. And that was just.
I'm sorry. Carl's
So there
just
you
a guy with a big fucking hammer, and he just likes to swing it. It's not his fault. It's what everybody has a tool, and Carl's tool is a big fucking hammer.
You are underestimating the absolute, complete, and utter catastrophic, destructive influence that feministic and atheistic ideologies have racked on our culture. I
No,
think
that's
you
not it
should,
at all.
I think
No,
you
no, no, no,
should be more. I think you are underreacting to these principles and
No,
these
because
ideas.
listen. I have tempered my opinions with the fact that some people are not worth pulling into my boat, right? And I've spent a long time talking to Sassy. Over years, we've had
Good.
run-ins and
You convince
conflicts
her
and
then.
confrontations.
You convince her then.
Yeah, because you don't have the patience. You don't have the patience to deal with the kind of people that can actually be convinced of sort of aligning outside of their narrow moral bubble.
Then you have your utility and I have mine, buddy. And that's fine. You do you.
Fine, then don't call me a faggot white knight about it. Just accept that I'm better at something that you're not as good at.
What,
I mean,
what
I'm not
exactly
as good
did I say that you thought I was disagreeable? What exactly?
Well, I knew
about my
where you were.
fucking
I knew
logical
where you were going to
argument-
go. No. Listen. You and I have been friends for what 5-6 years now, something like that.
More like
I've
4.
heard this. Well, whatever. But
Well,
we've had
maybe
this
5. Yeah,
conversation.
maybe close to 5.
We have had this exact conversation over the phone.
No, we
I don't know how many times. I knew where you were going to go because we've already talked about it, and I still think that your position goes too far. This is like fucking like I understand that women were biblically designed to be man's helper, and I know how you feel about that, and I know you have strong feelings about it, and I
do.
I'm not. And I know why, and I don't.
Do you actually?
Yeah,
know?
yes, I do. Yes, I do. We talk about it literally all the time, and I'm not trying to say that I'm not trying to invalidate your lived experience or whatever.
It has
But
nothing to do
I'm
with
just trying to
lived
say.
experience. It has nothing to do with lived
Well, you can't-
experience. It has
Well, every
everything.
time
It has everything to do with Christian moral biblical teleology. It's on my. It's. You know what the problem was, Will, with my lived experience? You want to know what the real problem was with my lived experience is I did not abide by the teleological standard of Scripture for most of my life. I allowed women free reign and consideration of a certain level of autonomy that they don't deserve. And it was catastrophic to me in many different avenues at many different moments in my lives because they thought they were people. And that was problematic. That was
okay. Well, this goes back to the father thing, actually, because how many fucking men have you actually had in your life? And let's not count the gay ones for just because how many positive male influences have you had in your life? And how many women have you been surrounded by your entire life? I know the answer. It's heavily weighted towards women. So there's your fucking problem.
No, I wouldn't say that. No, I wouldn't say that. That's
Well, I may as well interject because I've never had Smokey scream at me before. So, Smokey, you do have a tendency of going on tangents, and sometimes you do lose the plot at times. I will say that.
That's fine. That's fine. I think it's contextual, but whatever. That's
Sure.
fine.
Sure. It's
Fine.
definitely contextual. I thought you were
this is,
gonna-
in fact, I even talked with Will about this earlier today, that I will, if I have a principle or an ideology to present or some sort of argument, like I will generally not only give the argument or the perspective, but I will give the story of what inspired it. Because I feel like the story of its inspiration is somehow instrumental in the understanding of the importance and the weight of the ideology that I'm painting. And I will do that. And I know some people will reflect upon that and think that that's a tangent. To me, it's an essential to painting a picture of a deeper understanding of the justification of the ideology that I'm painting. That's why I tend to do those things.
Of course. In context, since we were talking about slavery earlier, and you were pointing out the hypocrisy of emotivism, for example.
Correct. Yes, absolutely.
By the way, before we continue, hey Berkey, long time no see. I haven't spoken to you in a bit, my dude.
Long
I
time no
suspect-
see. Long time no see, everybody. I got good news. I am now officially a resident physical therapist for a sports
Fuck yeah,
team
bud.
here.
That's awesome.
But I know that I can do better than this. I'm trying to.
God damn it.
I mean, I haven't been in the YouTube sphere for quite a while. It's just that I'm trying to make better with what I have right now before God gives me better opportunities for work.
That's good.
And probably
That's
start
good.
my
You
own
got it.
business too.
You got to do you, buddy. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And by the way, speaking of the Smokey experience, I've also had Smokey yell at me too.
Oh, there we go.
And it was in that.
Did I?
Yeah, you did. Like, I can remember. It was in that toxic ground clubhouse, and I was picking on somebody, and you were trying to present your argument, and you're like, I don't know, I can't remember. You're like, Smokey, shut the fuck up. I'm like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah, okay, all right.
And I was like, oh, I didn't remember.
I don't remember that, but
I
I'll
think
take
he
your
was
word
joking
for
in that context.
Yeah, but I was like, Smoke, I didn't mean to cut you off or anything. And we ended up kissing and making out, and that's it.
it. Sure. Yeah. Right.
Wait, hold on. Smokey has never screamed at me.
Yeah, I don't think I have. Yeah, probably not. Yeah.
That's because he's
I
sexually
want to know what
attracted
it feels
apparently.
like now. Like, how do I enrage Smokey?
Oh, it's easy. You just have to be a retard.
Okay. God is a woman.
Well,
How is
I already know.
Well,
you
that begs
don't
the
believe
question then: how has Scotty not made you yell at him then? Because he's basically a retard.
Also,
all the time,
what is
right?
a woman? What is a woman?
What is a woman?
Yeah.
Very clever.
Very good question.
I'll do
Well,
you
of
one
course, like,
better. I'll do you one better.
chromosome.
Blaze doesn't have any rabbits.
Oh my god.
Do I need to go do push-ups again?
Yeah, I think you should. I'm in full autism right now.
Same here.
So like I could use what just happened as a learning experience if you guys want to, but I got a feeling that it's not I don't know if you guys want that or not.
How do you figure?
Well, that was a perfect example of what I was talking about before of stir up waters to catch fish. What just happened?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Okay, whatever.
It's just I don't know the argument, like what the actual point that was being disagreed upon was.
I don't know
tried to
either.
find
I
out.
had 1 point. I had 1 point and 1 point only. That Sassy's ideology isn't really that valuable or worth anything or have any substance if she's not willing to defend it. That's all. That was the whole point. That was it. That was come in and show me where I'm wrong or shut the fuck up about how I'm wrong. That's it. That was the entire point. If your ideology isn't worth defending, then it must not be that valuable,
Well,
and it must
to
be
be
as
fair,
worth as I'm saying it is. So
Her rebuttal was a question.
Okay,
She
what was
just asked you like she asked you where is a woman's place exactly.
I explained that, and I know what she believes, and that you think so
I must have missed that because I didn't catch any of that.
So that was just an innocent question of where is my place then, Smokey? Like I was innocent, like that wasn't intended to instigate me into a monolithic tirade of where her particular atheistic feministic ideology completely fails in the moral paradigm of a successful culture.
Regardless of whether somebody's trying to instigate you, bro, you still gave into it, which is weakness. That's what I was talking about with chinks in the armor and the anger.
Whatever. I understood what was laced behind the question. Trust me, and it was dripping.
I'm guessing. Yeah,
it was dripping with the challenge of atheistic ideology of I am a woman who has a position of equal absolute equivalency to any man. So what place do I have anywhere other than the position exactly equivalent to a man. That was what the question was fucking laced with.
I assume that what Sassy thought you were going to say, based on how that was going, was she was thinking you were going to say in the kitchen, barefoot and pregnant, or something to that effect. Would that have been an inaccurate assessment of your position?
No, that's not. I think that's a very shallow assessment of what I've said about the function of women. But okay,
right.
I mean, that's not. This is something I will admit Will and I talk about all the fucking time. I don't think it's actually a mystery as to how I believe where the errors of our modern culture around the perspective of women have gone wrong. I don't think Will's oblivious to it, and I yet have heard what exactly part of my ideology he thinks he particularly disagrees with.
I think that's the whole thing.
You could maybe have an issue with some of my hyperbole. It's fine, but that's.
Well, do you want to have that conversation? We could go. I mean, I don't care.
I don't think this is a good idea.
Do you have anything to challenge me with, even?
I think that would be interesting to hear, just the difference in the perspective.
I just think it's going to be a waste of time.
I don't even know what the challenge is. Will has not expressed what aspect of my perspective that he has found to be in error or inconsistent.
I want to be a third party and decide who's right.
Who are you to decide what's right?
Good to see you, Lo, by the way. It's been quite a few years.
Good to see you too, Smokey. I haven't seen you in a minute.
Yeah, been a hot minute.
Yeah,
because,
I
think this would be fun only because me 5 years ago would have said Smokey's a fuckface and wrong about everything. And big girl me now would probably lean on Smokey's side. So I think this would be a really interesting social experiment.
Well, that would be a good bet.
Okay, well, then let's fucking do it.
I just kind of think it's pointless,
me a prop.
to be honest with you.
It is pointless, but he wants to white knight for Sassy. I'm gonna let him do it. And
well, that's like,
why is it?
I like how you brought up instigation by Sassy, but that right there was you instigating.
Yeah,
sure, that's fine. That's fine. He wants to make the challenge, and he wants to.
I said, give me a prop.
Here's the thing: the fact that you guys don't think that her question was laced with her feminist ideology is completely absurd to me. What the fuck?
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I simply said you gave into it. You gave into the emotion.
Of course, I did. It was a challenge. Right. I take on all the challenges, Ray.
Why are you taking on a challenge from a
Don
toddler,
Quixote out here with his fucking
because
sword.
That's what I do, buddy. That's my whole fucking character.
Yeah, but you're so much better than that.
On my channel, my whole fucking time I was doing this was challenges.
No, not the active challenges. I think your challenges are good. I'm saying
if you want to tell me that your ideology or your perspective of the alignment of morality for culture, the way that everyone should adopt and behave, I'm going to expect you to make a real good fucking case for it. Okay. And if you sit there like Wildheart, like Sassy, and sit there and challenge me about my ideology, which I have objectively justified many times over with some subjective horse shit, yeah, I'm going to rip it apart because it's garbage. It's just garbage. And if you're not even willing to defend it with someone who is adamant to the contrary perspective, even if you're given like equal opportunity and equal time, then what the fuck value is your ideology exactly? Like, what, you won't fight for it. So why should we give a shit about it? You won't even show up to debate someone who has a tone that you don't agree with. I mean, well, what the fuck value is your ideology exactly? And that's why it's going to die. That's why feminism is going to die. Because while everyone is talking about the failures of atheism, the feminists are sitting there, in their fucking rooms with their little pink fucking fluffy pillows, talking about how mean the world is, and we're not going to debate these mean, evil men who will then just talk about it, decide it's all horse shit, and make different decisions, and it'll die in a whisper with a bunch of goddamn emotionally feeble, weak, stupid women cuddling their cats in their one-bedroom apartments, talking about how horrible the men are, and they couldn't debate them to defend their fucking goddamn viewpoints.
I don't really agree with your characters. Listen, because the way that I like to deal with people is on an individual basis, and then you generalize, and I think that's the biggest issue that I have with most of your arguments about this whole fucking woman shit. I mean, I've met all kinds of fucking broads, and they ain't all the same.
The only
they
issue
ain't all
I've
fucking
ever-
retarded.
The only issue I've ever heard you present, which I've even admitted to, is the moments where I engage in hyperbole, and I do for the sake of impact. I do this, and you know I do this. You even encourage me to do this.
Yeah.
So I don't know why you even want to make a thing about it.
I don't know, because I think maybe my methodology is.
No, I think you wanted to white knight. I think that's what you wanted to do.
I think Will usually encourages
And
it.
okay, for the no, hold on, shut the fuck up, because I have one issue with you and how many fucking episodes of this show, and then all of a sudden I can't have a fucking opinion that doesn't agree with you without being a white knight moral fag. That's really what we're doing here.
No, you have not given an opinion. You've not given an opinion. You've not stated one thing of where you actually disagreed with me. You have simply said in a general statement of general disagreement about my perspective to defend Sassy. What the fuck do I take from that?
I literally just told you that you have to deal with people on an individual basis, and you make broad, sweeping statements about women in general. And I don't think that's productive or helpful.
That's the issue.
And you didn't ask her what her opinion is. You haven't talked to her about this in probably 3-4 years at the very least.
Has her opinion? Okay, well, I'll give her that.
Well, I don't know. Well,
maybe her opinion has changed in 3-4 years. Maybe it has.
I'll tell you what. She's way less radical than when I met her.
Okay,
based on our conversations. No, I'm serious.
Yeah, he was a Nazi, but he only killed 2 Jews.
No, progress of any kind is you know. Hey, if at any point Hitler had been like, man, if at any point Hitler had been like, you know what, that's fun.
Think about this, bro. Think about this. If you save one life, you save the world entire. So one less murder. It's like saving a life, right?
Well, call me Schindler. I don't know.
Oh.
I'm just down here on the factory floor trying to minimize. Look, because today's enemy could be tomorrow's friendly fire. I have a fairly optimistic view of humanity that I think is shared by far too many.
Dude. It's like the dealing with the NPC thing again. It's like this whole thing of like where you're dealing with a bunch of people who just don't have that inner monologue. Like they're not really people. Like they're just kind of operating by whatever presets of programming they were given to them by their parents or their culture or something like that. They're not really operating.
Then why are you wasting any time on it?
Well,
because I've explained this because it's a good example for people, Ray. Like this the whole point of this is to like show that these fucking ideologies cannot be defended. Like that's the whole fucking point of everything I've done on my channel my entire fucking time doing it. Like this is not fucking rocket science.
There you go. You're out of the bag.
Sassy. The reason
you're back in the bag.
Sassy, the reason you should place any value on any opinion about your beliefs is because they're logically justified, as you should with any of your beliefs. And that's the thing. You don't logically justify your beliefs. You feel things, which is right the way back to the whole problem I've had about this whole fucking conversation this whole night is too much fucking feelings.
Well, I don't think we logically justify absolutely goddamn everything, but I suppose some core principles should have to have some kind of justification before you start talking about it. Why don't we start with where we agree? That's probably good. That's usually where I like to start. I happen to think that biological females are inherently better at nurturing skills, and that there are certain areas.
Oh, you mean they have a teleology? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't disagree.
You mean they have
that.
a primary function for their existence? Is that your argument?
Generally.
Okay.
Generally. Yeah. Just like men have a default sort of biological.
So we're not supposed to just give into feelings? We're not supposed to just like let them rule over us?
Ray, you're going to make this take a really long time if we keep having.
Well, I said that for a reason.
It's like that.
This might because I went in. I got up for work at like fucking 8:30 yesterday, and I'm still going. I'm actually not that tired, but I do have things that I have to get done before Saturday, and I have a lot to get done.
Tell me something. Tell me something. Well, if just to clarify, for the sake of if I was off the mark at all, is Sassy still a liberal?
Oh yeah, she's still
all right.
liberal.
Is she still a feminist?
What do you think?
In practice or in theory?
Oh Jesus Christ! Really? It's like when I asked that one guy. It's like when I asked Eddie whether or not fags could get saved. No.
It's totally different. It's totally different. I'm going to tell you why. Because like the way that
she says yes. She says yes. Let's go with yes. She said yes. So therefore, yes.
You didn't ask her. You asked me, fucker. I'm talking to you now.
So she says yes, and you're going to extrapolate for her.
No. Because I was trying to extrapolate on something. So like when she talks to me about her family structure and how things work, it doesn't seem very feministy to me. I'll just say, and I'm not going to talk about her family life because that'd be fucked up. But I'm just saying that it seems a little patriarchal, I'll be honest. And I don't think anybody's thinking about it. I think it just happens to be that way. So that's why I asked. So in theory, she's a feminist because she says she's a feminist, but then what I hear from her about how her life works and how her family structure works. Yeah, see, there we go. See? And I don't think that it's anybody saying I don't think her husband is like, all right, bitch, get in the fucking kitchen and make me dinner. I don't want to pop.
Why is that what it becomes when you think anti-feminist? Why is that what gets pictured?
Situation.
Why is that the paradigm that is imagined?
That's not really biblical traditional masculinity, though.
Well.
Correct. Thank you, Lo. Thank you. Yes. Thank you.
It's very important that you open Discord right now.
Oh God, is that what that buzzing was?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
I would say that majority of modern women are the NPCs. Just hit them. Just go off script and hit them with the you're a hypocrite kind of thing. That I would go as far as to say it.
Yeah, that's not a bad point, right? I don't know if I'm going to make it right now.
No, I'm certainly not.
Nah, because I think that would just spiral.
But
I didn't think that would get us nowhere. I happen to think you're right, but I don't know if that's gonna. That might be a conversation.
To be honest with you, I just wanted to get it out.
You know, everything from what you said to me, William, to me sounded a lot like, oh yeah, she's a feminist, but also not.
Well, she says feminist
things. There are a lot of different things that people call feminism. I think it depends on what the individual person is meaning when they say they're a feminist.
Thank you, Lo. I personally only care about the general, and I would say all-encompassing from any other fucking walk of atheists that you think of, talks about the perversion of the teleological order and utilitarian benefit of what the essence of a female actually fucking is. Which
so
is
you're
why,
thinking of like the postmodern neoliberal feminists.
The ones that wear the pussy hats. And
like you're not thinking of the
classical feminism. I think is probably a pretty good thing. I think women have value. I think they're important. I think they have a job to do, and I think they should be
in terms
protected.
of a moral standard of where I think there was a level of feminist ideology that was potentially even socially beneficial would have been second wave feminism, but there's even arguments against that.
It's kind of like I've heard this argument from women before where it's like, I support a woman's right to have an abortion, but I wouldn't personally have an abortion.
Sure.
Well, then,
right.
and 90% of the women that I've talked to will say that. And so at some point you have a plurality of opinion that does not reflect
whichever feminist. The point is that whichever feminist branch you operate from, and I will say that there were utilitarian benefits to second wave feminism, as I don't think there were any benefits to any wave of feminism after that. But I would say that there were benefits to second wave feminism in the sense that it did allow for women to reach a certain level of independence if they had been discarded by men and by culture altogether. No issue with that. There was a certain utilitarian benefit to it. However, it also created an extreme negative to where now there was the expectation of the American economy for there to be 2 income houses, to where it was now expected for the husband and the wife to work in order to provide 2 incomes, in order to survive in the economy that ingratiated women into the workforce. So as much as I could claim, sure, there was some utilitarian benefit, but there was also a lot of bad that came from it.
It introduced economic disparity to the nuclear family image.
Correct. In an extreme sense, absolutely. In fact, discouraged the existence of the nuclear family altogether, which was fundamentally, to me, catastrophic. So if we're talking about, even at a utilitarian level, the benefit of feminism, I think you have a tough sell. And I don't really care as much about the utilitarian conversation, although I will have it, as much as I do the ontological or ideological conversation.
I have some questions then.
Proceed.
And they're almost rhetorical because I feel like I probably know the answer, but I don't really know the answer until I ask you. So here's the first question. Do you believe that we should be enforcing that by law then?
Oh,
like
really?
No, go ahead.
But enforcing what in particular?
What do you mean? Like enforcing what exactly?
Like saying that women can't work? Like reversing that? What would you have done?
Just like nuclear families only, no fucking polycules, no fucking, gays can't marry. Like, what are we talking about here? Sort of situation.
Like no step families. Like
I don't. Yeah, see, I don't agree.
Are we just talking about nuclear families only? Everything else is illegal. What are you?
No,
would you be interested?
No, I would not do that. No, I would not.
Okay.
No, because
Right,
and I'll tell you why. Because
lesser government, the better for me. I'm very
but you'd like that to be the outcome, though, yeah, like that people would just naturally.
But that's back to that whole ideological perspective of, do you make change top bottom or bottom down, or bottom up?
That's exactly where I'm going.
So do you inspire everyone? Do you inspire everyone at the bottom to change, and therefore the culture at the top just follows naturally? Or do you try to force it on everyone and cause rebellion by going top down?
I think trickle-down economics
this is what I'm trying to say, is that I feel like it's a bottom-up approach, and Sassy is exactly my case in point. The reason that I know how Sassy's political opinion,
I don't agree with a top-down ideology in terms of promoting cultural morality. I never have. I've talked about that constantly.
Right, but this is my primary issue with how you handle things in regards to the culture war and things of that nature. I want beneficial outcome. I want outcomes to be as good as they can be, and I take a bottom down approach. So I actually talk to Sassy, and that's how I know things about her that you're not privy to, and how I know where she's standing now is because I actually talked to the broad. And I think that you like miss the forest through the trees. I think that this really isn't a woman's place argument that like fundamentally that we're actually having. I think probably what we most disagree on is like the methodology of how you go to actually changing people's opinions. Just like how I don't really like. I think that debate, like public debate, is kind of bullshit. I'm not saying debate has no value. I'm thinking more along the lines
You're
of
literally
actually
taking a tone police argument with me. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, it just depends on how much you actually want to get done and however many years you got left.
Well, let me ask you something. You talk.
If you don't give a fuck and it's all just entertainment.
No. It's a matter of position. So you talk to Sassy. I don't. Right? You agree with that? Like I don't converse with her. Haven't in years. You do. You do on the regular. So it's going to be a different dynamic whether she's talking to me or you. Now, I don't have that personal level of connection with her. So if she challenges me, or I see her presenting an ideological challenge through a question, which she absolutely was doing, I'm going to respond according to my level, my dynamic with her, which does not have any personal connection, by the way, not for any reason really other than just her not having any interest. And you've developed a different type of connection, wanting to talk to her, and you can talk to her a different way. Why is either one of us necessarily wrong?
I think it comes down to
because you could say I'm too hard, and I could say you're too much of a pussy. Who's the
Well,
fucking
I think
gauge
that
the
you're
spectrum
missing out.
between?
I think that the way that you come off excludes a large swath of individuals. Oh, would otherwise not be caught in the net by stirring up fish, to borrow an example from Ray there.
I agree with Ray to stir up the waters. And that's what I've always done. Will, it's not like this is like some sort of
what I'm trying to say is your net's full of goddamn holes. And you're like, well, I'm saying your net's
I mean,
full
a
of
net by
holes.
nature does have holes, buddy. I hate to tell you.
No, I mean like. I mean, like other than the holes that were supposed to be there.
You know, I would like you to
a
think
new
about
hole.
something. Well, how many times did I let fucking Andy come in my stream and spout his universalism horseshit? How many times did I let that happen?
No, but I was telling you about boats.
No,
and
just
Wikipedia. I'm
let's
not
use it.
saying-
Let's use it as an example. Let's use an example. How many times? Probably 30 plus times, right? That I let Andy in to rip apart his universalism horseshit, right? Like probably at least 30. Okay. The man was showing up almost every morning. Why do you think I kept letting him in?
Yeah, but how many times did you,
Do you
have
think?
a private
Well, hold
conversation?
on. Do you think I kept letting him in because I thought I was going to convince him?
Well, how many times did you have a private conversation with him? Probably not too many.
Oh, there
All
were
of our
a few.
conversations-
There were
Well,
a few. There were a few.
There are
There were a few.
Smokey is
there were a few
using
that
this guy
happened
as a
even
tool.
after a stream or even before a stream.
There's utility in what Smokey does, where he drags a retard out in the middle of the street and says, "Here's the retard. Let's all throw fucking tomatoes at him."
Yeah,
There is
everybody likes
utility
the
in
public
that.
lynching.
It's more. Here's the retard. Let's not be like this. You know, it's like
Right,
let's not believe stupid retarded shit like this dumbass does. That's what it is.
Yeah, but only retards believe retard shit, and you can't change a
That's
retard.
not true. That's not
I
true.
mean,
You think anybody with a brain is
There
gonna
are
think retarded
smart
shit?
people who believe
There are
retard
smart people
shit.
that believe real retarded
That's
shit.
what I-
like
yeah,
that.
that's
that's
what
not
I'm
true.
saying.
They're not really smart then. That's what I'm saying. is they're not really
I
smart.
don't know about
People
that.
can be tricked into believing things who are intelligent.
And that means they're not that fucking smart.
I
People can be swindled.
Yeah, Ray, that's not necessarily an intelligence issue. That might be a character issue. They
I'm
might
telling
be,
you,
they
Ray,
might
people
be
can be
leveraged to
swindled.
believe things
I
that are
think that-
emotionally convenient.
I think that we're talking about like inherent retardation. I think that's what Ray's trying to say.
God damn it. I actually
Smokey's
really
talking
do
around.
miss Lo. It's
No,
awesome having you tonight, by the way. I really did miss you. It's good to see you.
I miss you too, Smokey. But because people get swindled every day by things that are absolute horseshit, and they believe it for a pretty long time.
Yeah, but all you have to do is like
Uh.
open your eyes and think about it, and you can kind of figure out if something's retarded.
Well,
or
if
not.
only it were that simple.
Well, here, you know
We
what?
would
I
all
actually
be
have this
super
new program
geniuses.
you can sign up for. You know, you get these patches every month and they stop you from getting a hangover. You put them on before you drink. And then, you know, the way you make money is you sign other people up to get the patches. And then
Oh
they
my
sign up more people and then you get money from that too. That sounds like a
Yeah,
great deal, right?
Desperate people will buy all kinds of dumb shit.
But if you take the time to think about what I just positioned you, you'd realize it's multi-level marketing and that it's a fucking waste of your time and a scam.
Yeah,
and
but
all it
there
takes
are
is you taking your
brilliant
time to
people who are
think.
billionaires who fall for shit like that.
That doesn't mean shit.
Are all
The-
those
how
people
many
retarded?
Yes. Anybody who puts stock
Okay,
in
well,
numbers
what
in a
about
bank
what
account
about
is
Elon
retarded.
Musk?
What about fucking
Elon
Bill
Musk?
Gates?
Well, let's talk no, because I want to use a better example. Bill Gates is probably just evil.
He
What
is
about
evil.
Elon Musk with the H-1B visa situation where he's letting fucking Indians into the country because we need doctors and whatever? Like, that was a retarded hot take, but I don't think you'd say that Elon Musk is a retard.
I would.
I think
I-
that
I
like
know.
the amount of
For
knowledge that
building
you
a
have in your
spaceship?
brain, the amount of knowledge in your brain is not the same thing as I guess what I'm really trying to say is
Well, are you
wisdom is
talking
more
about common
important.
sense more so than
Wisdom,
intelligence?
common sense, wisdom, whatever you want to call it, understanding.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Like
Yeah,
reading a
okay,
book.
well,
If you read a book, it doesn't really mean anything. It's irrelevant. You can call yourself smart, but I don't really.
that's
care
what
at
I
this point.
figured. That's what I figured you meant. I was just trying to get
Yeah.
everybody on the same page.
Yeah, like
Okay, so I think we had a fundamental misunderstanding as to what we meant by intelligence because I think
I
we
was
meant two
picking it
different
up.
things.
Yeah.
I guess I view somebody who's intelligent as somebody who can take the time to decipher and understand things, and not necessarily somebody who has a wealth of knowledge in their brain. They can tell you every formula, the
Someone who
quadratic
can reason
equation.
well.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking PEMDAS.
And if you, I feel like that's a skill that everybody can work on just by taking time and thinking, coming up with questions, asking other people questions, picking other people's brains.
Depending on their level of intellectual functioning, I would say yes.
Yeah, like if they have
there are
Down
some
syndrome, they
people who
probably
genuinely can't reason
Definitely.
very well because they
Definitely.
have like a mild
I've
IQ.
made it a habit to try
Absolutely.
to weed out the fucking NPCs from the PCs, and I just kind of fucking like. I don't think that Sassy is one of these fucking people that just walks all around all day not thinking about anything, and like one of these. Apparently, there's this was a conversation that we had today, Smokey. Apparently, there's people who, when they read books, they don't imagine what's happening in the book in their head. Apparently, there are people like that, and I'm not interested.
It's all
in
just
somebody,
words on a page to them.
Can you
I'm not interested in people like that. I can't even imagine having that low of an imagination.
Yeah,
That's
those are the
how I-
toddlers. Those are the toddlers I'm talking about. Like
I don't want to deal. You're right. I don't deal with those people, but I don't happen, based on my conversations with Sassy, I don't happen to believe she falls into that.
I also believe, like, instead of taking a toddler to the street and beating them up, if you took the devil to the street and beat him up, I think that's way more effective at getting your message across. If you
I
take a
think
bigger
getting-
target, if you fucking destroy a bigger target, logically, that has way more weight and value to it than taking on somebody who can't even think. Because that's basically like Wildheart. He has no idea. He doesn't know what he is. He doesn't know where he is. He has no idea what's going on. He doesn't.
He's in a council state.
I don't know where he is either. He left. He's just gorn.
Oh, well, dude, you should see in the,
He's
no,
smoking
in
a
the
cigarette
private,
in his
dude,
government subsidized house.
I was gonna bring this up.
Supposed to do that there.
In the private chat, he goes, "Hey, Will, am I going to get back on? Yay or nay? I'm a busy man." So I go, "You spent 20 years doing nothing. Your time is irrelevant."
No, when he said that, I put him in. When he said that, I put him in, and then he said one word, and I kicked him out again.
Where's
pull
this
up-
guy on welfare getting money for cigarettes?
He's probably
No, they have a pretty comprehensive system. Over
I
there
can't
with all
pull.
the
Unfortunately,
dollars.
I can't put the private chat on screen.
No, I posted a link. Can you pull it up?
Yeah, I can do that.
Lo was talking about people who don't have the mental capacity, and it reminded me of this, and I thought this was a really powerful thing.
Actually, just saw this. I just saw this 2 days ago.
Yeah, I sent it to you.
Oh, was that you, or I
Yeah.
thought I was part of my fucking scroll? Okay,
I mean, you
never
might
mind.
have, but I did send it to you on Discord.
All right, here we go.
Do you have Down syndrome or Williams syndrome?
Syndrome.
Okay.
William.
Awesome.
This is mean.
Been bullied before?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, so I was bullied just one time. I was crying because I was upset about it. Have you ever punched someone? Sometimes when you got mad?
Yeah.
That's okay. It happens sometimes, like when we're little. Okay, here comes our burgers.
All right.
Thank you, Reagan. Hey, Kate, I think we should say a prayer before we eat, okay? I'm going to say the prayer. Dear Lord, thank this day. I pray for this good day and good date we're having. And I pray that you keep Mommy safe wherever she is right now. And I pray we have a good lunch. I pray you'll keep us safe and we'll be okay. Amen. Do you have Down syndrome or Williams syndrome?
So, who's going to care?
Yeah, I know you want that to be a clip. I know you want that to be a clip. It's okay. Well, I'm currently doing that right now.
That's a clip.
I
You have-
mean,
you
he
hear me
clearly,
all right,
he
right?
clearly has Asperger's. I mean, that's
He
that's
said
clearly
that.
what his
No,
thing
he
is.
said that. He said he had autism.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Is that
Yeah.
love on the spectrum or is that down for love? Which one is that one?
Who do you think's the bottom in that situation?
That's
I got
don't
up
think they
syndrome.
those people can't consent, Ray. That's sick.
It's not. I'm not saying I'm gonna listen. Wait. I'm not saying I'm gonna go fuck them. I want one to be bottom underneath me. I'm just asking. If
Ray,
neither one of them. Wait.
I'm a mandated reporter.
So wait. Let me
Yeah,
ask you
me
this.
too.
then. So
Unfortunately,
if they have sex, then neither one of them can consent, right?
No, they still no. An intellectually capacitated person can't have sex with another
Yeah, but
intellectually
what if they do?
capacitated
But what if they do? Are you going to go in their bedroom and stop them from doing it? Like, there's no police in their
I'm not
bedroom.
going to go into their bedroom at all.
Do they both
actually.
get arrested then?
Hold on. Wait.
Actually, can I tell you?
I think
Can I
I
tell
have
you
to
something
make a
fucked
rule
up?
when I go into work tomorrow.
Hold on, can I tell you something fucked up that's 100% true?
This is actually good.
If
Wait,
if
so-
I have to, because everybody knows what I do for work, take care of retarded people, etc., etc., etc. Anyway, so if two people who are some form of retarded for one reason or another need help performing intercourse, like they need me to pop them in or whatever,
Oh, you got to be the
I'm
fucking
legally
fluffer.
obligated to do that. That's in my fucking contract. It's 100% true. It's never happened to me before. I've never had an instance of that, but it is.
But William, both of them have to be at a level of functioning where they
Will
can
the
legally
fluffer.
consent. Isn't that
Could you
correct?
imagine the guy who was
Yeah, but
dating
the
that
state's
Downey over there
definition of
saying that?
there are some people who the state says they can consent, and I disagree.
You
but-
disagree, but they can't be legally deemed incapacitated.
No, but you'd be surprised how far that definition stretches.
No, I wouldn't. I work in social services. I would not be surprised.
That's yeah, okay, yeah. Actually, you wouldn't. Fucking hell.
I see 10 people a day who I think should be considered incapacitated, and I work with half of them.
Just to be perfectly clear, I do have Williams syndrome.
I think, by the way, I'm fairly confident that girl with Down syndrome fucking pegs the dude.
Oh.
I'm fairly confident that's the way it goes.
Ray, I don't
What
know why
the
you're
fuck
thinking
is-
about this so much.
You don't think that would be
I'm a
hot
little
watching this?
worried.
That was a
What the
beautiful
hell are
woman
you
right
talking
there.
about, Ray?
That's a beautiful woman.
Here's the story that I can talk about because everyone involved is now dead.
I'm gonna
There
have
were
to talk
two-
about this in AA next week.
I'm gonna.
Nice. There were two. Okay, so there were two retarded people, right? They weren't so retarded that they couldn't consent, right? And they had relations, right? And it was in a group home, and they were all fucking each other. And then the guy from that previous relationship had sex with somebody else who was in the same group home. Everyone could consent except for that girl, right? This new girl that moved in.
Because she was retarded.
She didn't know that she couldn't consent and didn't tell her, and nobody told him. He ended up on the sex offender registry until the day after he died. And it wasn't even that she was like a child or anything. Like,
Well,
so
at least
it's
he
Just
got
just
off.
crazy.
1.2 retarded.
Yeah, literally, and the question is, if you know that everybody in one of these fucking special ed houses is fucking each other, as a state employee, why would you move somebody in
Who can't?
that can't consent into a house full of what is essentially sexually aggressive, intellectually deficient nymphomaniacs? What the fuck is wrong? You know, sometimes
Can I live
I'm
there?
sure you do too. You just look at your job and you go, "What the fuck are we doing? What the fuck is
Every day
this?
of my life.
What
Every
the hell?
single day of my life.
Like, oh, what the hell is even that?"
Dude, I could tell you stories about the budget in this county that make me want to throw up.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you could. I don't doubt it.
Back to my point.
My
though.
department's federally funded.
Do you think she gives her
90%.
a reach around while
no,
she's
our
pegging it?
department is coming straight out of. We get some Fed funding, but the rest is all state and county coming directly out of mine and your
90%. That's why we have to take out of staters. Because we take federal funds by a certain percentage. We have to take people from out of state too. And it's just filling up, and we just don't have the staff. We're just legally required to take them, and it's just like, well, we can't dump them in empty houses. I know what we'll do. We'll have Will work consecutive 24-hour shifts while he's got the fucking flu and shitting his brains out. He had to change his pants once. I'm not saying that happened to me. I'm just saying it happens. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that happened. But
or we'll have one person cover
worst.
3 units because we can't staff.
yeah, and I just want everyone to know what their federal tax dollars are going towards, because it's not anything you want them to. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, yeah, it's condoms in Afghanistan. I know that. That's a valuable goal.
Yeah, they clearly didn't use them. I'll just say that. Oh, you know what's funny is I actually some videos resurfaced from podcast of the Lotus Eaters, Callum, because he went over to Afghanistan to hang out with the Taliban to interview them and stuff like 3 years ago. And I'd seen it before, but it didn't really hit my brain. They had all of the genders studies fucking curriculum and sensitivity training books from USAID at the fucking Taliban headquarters, and they were lighting them on fire after the Taliban had moved into fucking. Oh my god, I can't fucking believe it, because people were saying, "Oh, that's smoke. We didn't send that money." They said it was earmarked for that, but we didn't do it. And there it is, right there. There's the fucking and the condoms too, with all the fucking like sexual education and all that. The fucking just racks of condoms that were never used. Although, actually, I heard that they were using them to make homemade explosives. Like
I think that's kind of why it's important to kind of work from the top down against the forces of evil, because they are just sweeping away the masses, the brainless masses. And you could talk to people on an individual level. I mean, I have for the past decade. But that the amount of impact you have on an individual level isn't nearly as much to combat the amount of people that are being swept away daily. It's unfortunate, but basically you got to cut the fucking head off the snake. Otherwise it's going to keep slithering around.
Guys, my break time is almost over, so I gotta go, but not without giving you words of wisdom. So if you just give me like 10 seconds, I'm going to tell you what my name is. And my name is
Rasengan.
That takes me back to the Brian Mullins days. He did that whole fucking bit. That was like one of my first introductions to the Brian the Furry Cannibal.
By the way, I want you to know that I shared that video not with the intention of making jokes. I literally did it because I thought it was beautiful and it showcased there are people in this world that are worth protecting. And it's not, I didn't show it to make jokes about the reach around to the pegging. I just thought that was, since you guys kind of were bringing it there, it was kind of funny.
I found my fucking. You know what? I know exactly why I'm in such a good mood, because I found my fucking car keys and all was right with the world.
Because you chickened out of the feminism debate.
Because
you remembered how I've never been wrong about anything ever, and I've decimated you in every argument we've ever had. And you got PTSD, and you knew you couldn't handle it.
No, my PTSD is from having a retard ram my head in a fucking wall, and then workman comp fucking said, "Oh, we're not paying for that. You're gonna have to fight it out in court. You got any money to fight it in court?" So I'm thinking to myself,
contact legal aid.
Yeah, I know. I contacted legal aid, and they said that they were handling it, and it's been going on for months, and it's about to go into fucking collections. And so I tried to say, "Hey, listen, my insurance company, you know what? No, actually, I'm going to say exactly what my fucking insurance company is in honor of Luigi, our new hero. You guys want to take a guess? Fucking United Healthcare, of course. They won't fucking cover it either. So now I'm getting stuck with the bill because of something that wasn't my fucking fault, and it was just done in the course of doing my fucking job. That fucking grinds my gears. But I guess if I just wait 7 years and don't answer, it'll be fine anyway. So that'll sort itself out eventually.
Yep.
The link is in the description, Sophia. Just click on it.
Who even is?
I don't know. Is it Sparkle?
Yeah, that's Sparkle. It's yeah.
Is it somebody I know?
Yeah, you've talked to Midnight before. It's the
God. Yeah, waste of time.
No, Sparkle has his moments. He's entertaining.
That's great.
Look,
I actually personally
white knighting for Midnight Sparkle.
Dude, I remember I invited him.
Hello.
I invited him into my personal Discord. I was trying to talk to him, and he kept talking about this other dude. And it's like, are you talking to me? You talking to me, or are you talking to this dude?
Sparkle, I missed you, you little albino faggot. How are you doing?
White Knight, fucking.
I'm doing well.
I'll tell you what, though, Sparkle, you're a step up.
You sound different, buddy. Did your balls drop?
Apparently, yes.
Yeah, I guess so. All right.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. Well, you're definitely a step up from Wildheart. You should take pride in that. You're above Wildheart.
Well, I mean, he does it to himself, so it's just so insane. The amount of talks I've had with him recently.
Oh yeah.
How many times have you seen me debate him, Sparkle? Like a fucking dozen?
Well, yeah.
I
Back.
told,
back
by the way, I told Wildheart that he could come back in, and then he just sat in the back for a little while. We were all talking, and then he fucking left. I just never fucking let him in. Come on, come back, Wildheart. I'll let you. I'll let you in, buddy.
It's like fucking peanuts, bro. You're holding the football, Will. He's holding the football. He's ready.
Put me in, coach.
Oh God.
Forget what I said about.
Oh.
I think I'm entering. I think I've gone beyond neutral. Tip the scale.
things have been so insane everywhere.
I get called a Smoky Saint Dick Rider when I agree with him. And then when I disagree with him, I'm a fucking white knight faggot. All right.
Well,
you are a
whatever.
faggot.
No, that's fine. I'm not allowed to have an opinion about anything.
No, you're allowed to have an opinion as long as it's a correct one.
No, he's a Jew.
He has a hard time with that, Smokey. You know that.
He's a Jew, bro. He's not allowed to have an opinion. I learned that from Hassan Piker, bro.
You know, I do enjoy Sabra. I actually didn't eat hummus, and then we started making Sabra eater jokes because of the fucking Arab tier list. And now it's like, you know what? Chickpeas are pretty neat.
Yeah, dude. Get some pita chips on that bitch.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I like fresh vegetables. I know that's a shock to everyone.
Yeah, I
here
can see
that
it from your physique.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, that's where he fucking stores a stash of carrots right in his gut.
I had to have hormone replacement therapy for all the estrogen mimicry.
Dude, you're like Elmer Fudd. You're like Elmer Fudd.
I actually tried to challenge Will to a workout challenge, and he said, "No, it's okay. You win."
Oh, I'll challenge you all to a workout challenge.
Well, no,
That'd be
because
great.
it's like you know, like it's like when a woman challenges you to do any physical activity, it's easier to just avoid
Oh,
the
you know
argument
what? That's
altogether.
true. You know what? You know, I should have challenged Ray from the beginning, actually.
Yeah, you would have a decent shot because I haven't
Right.
I haven't
Wait,
done any
by the way, Will, you probably should just go ahead and give Ray my phone number. Like,
Oh, okay.
Like, so, I mean, there's no reason for him to not have
Well,
it.
to be fair, Ray doesn't really call anybody. It's more like Discord and stuff.
I mean, I do,
But
have
I
a
will.
phone. I just don't pay attention.
I mean,
I'm
just
happy
so he can have it, you know. Like, I mean,
I'm happy to have more
Yeah,
conversations
that
with
way
you, Smokey.
when we do the RSVPs for the circle jerk, he makes sure that he's there on time. You know?
yeah, Ray, I got a challenge for you. You're gonna have to give me about 6 weeks to get up to the stamp where I'm ready to begin the challenge with you. But yeah,
What's this challenge?
Well, I'll tell you on the phone. And in fact, I think what we should do is we should videotape us, and I believe we will both be able to complete the challenge. But we should post a video side by side of us doing the challenge.
You're definitely. I'm going to need to know about this ahead of time because
I'm not paying $9.99 on.
I'm betting. I'm betting you could probably do it if pretty damn fucking close. You could probably do it.
If you think you can do it, I 100% can do it.
Well, I know I can do it. Not right this second, but I'm getting pretty close. So if I can do it, I'm pretty sure you can do it. But I want to see if we could actually match the challenge together.
Okay. That's
So,
interesting.
Right on.
This sounds so fucking homoerotic.
It's going to be an edge challenge, bro.
You know what? It would be hot as fuck, is what I think
yeah.
it would be. So
Listen, dude, I'll
Why
jerk
don't
right
you
next
just
to you,
go
bro.
fuck Scotty and his beautiful throat too, you fucking queer?
Is that on the table? Wait. Is that on
Smokey!
the table? Is that on
Well,
the
no,
table?
hang on. Smokey is like Goku asking Vegeta to go train in the hyperbolic time chamber.
Fuck yeah. Exactly. Hell yeah.
Well, you're going to need a lot of time in there, buddy, because I've been in there for the past 10 years.
All right,
Jesus Christ, he must be an old man by now.
Yeah,
Right?
basically.
I know what to do, buddy. I understand time under tension and physical discipline. So
If you want my help too, I'm more than happy to help you.
Oh, I'm sure you would, bud. Yeah.
Well,
that's all right. I think I got it. But
I want to give you the best chance, and so obviously that I would want to help you. You know,
I appreciate that, buddy.
That's why I always let Will, like when we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh, bro. I just kind of pick a random deck that I have.
Y'all just trying to make me fucking angry, aren't you?
Yes.
Just trying to fucking piss me off.
Like last time we did this speed duel shit where you gave me like a stack of random cards and I had to make a deck. And so I made this random deck I had no idea how to use. And I beat him the first time. And then he edited his deck and I gave him my extra cards to use. I gave him my extra cards to use and he made a new deck and I beat him again. And then he went through every card in the fucking box set to make a new deck. And then I beat him like 8 more times after that.
I remember Will brought that game with him when he came over to my house, and we played it. We played one round, and it lasted like I think 2 minutes or less. And I'm like, "This was the game."
Oh, bro.
Yes.
And he's
Well,
like,
yeah, it's
"Wow."
called a speed duel, you fucking animal.
Like,
Dude, the
okay,
normal-
well, this was the gayest thing we've ever done. So,
the normal duels that me and Will
Well, you
had
were
when
bitching about having to read, mister. I got my fucking Bible
well, I
on me
don't
at all
want to read
times.
50,000 fucking cards and try to figure out
Oh,
and
yeah.
ascertain how they
It's
affect other
simplified.
cards.
That's the simplified version.
No.
That's,
That's,
that's
I agree with Will.
simplified version.
I agree
What
with
is
Will.
love it.
enjoyable about that?
About Yu-Gi-Oh?
How in the name of heavenly Christ do you want to dedicate that much of your fucking brain space to memorize all that fucking horse shit? How?
That's fun.
You
You
don't
don't memorize
Autism.
anything. You just read what's on the fucking card. You
No,
clown.
just read what's on the card. You have to know how it affects the other cards and like where
Not
it's
really.
played and
No,
when you
no,
can
no.
play it and fucking and you have to know that shit when it's in your hand. You have to memorize that
The only
shit
thing you have to know is
immediately.
No, you
as soon as
don't.
roll the
order. That's
motherfucker.
You don't. What you have to know is if a card can be applied to multiple different situations or if there's a specific niche that it can be used. If it's a specific
That's
niche,
my
you have to
point.
learn all that shit, and I don't. do
Yeah,
that.
you have to learn all
I
that
don't do all
shit.
that.
Exactly.
I don't do that. I just
just wanna
basically
play
I
that.
read.
Fuck wants to sit there and do
I-
that.
I just look at the cards and I read if it's an effect that is useful against like any kind of battlefield, and if it is, I use it in my deck. And then when I draw my cards, I read what I have in my hand, and then I decide based on what's on the battlefield and what potential I have, how to play the cards. Versus Will, he literally all his like his Blue Eyes White Dragon deck, like all those
God
cards
damn
are
it
like
that we're talking
synergy.
about fucking Yu-Gi-Oh again tonight.
Yeah, I fucking well, you know what? You were at least you have some
Boo.
experience with it at this point.
I'm really.
Although
I
we are gonna play that Pokemon board game, by the way.
When am I going to find out about this
Topic
challenge?
change.
Because I'm interested in this now.
Well,
we doing
we'll
what?
give you my number and then we can chat
Oh,
about
yeah,
it,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I'll tell you what it is.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
I'm excited, man.
I don't want to tell it to everyone because I want everyone to like see it when we complete it. Like I would like that to be the thing. So
By the way, Ray, my cards never came in the mail, so I'm just gonna work with what I have. I'm not gonna use that as an excuse, though.
Oh, welcome to my
I actually think two guys with like toned physiques, like fulfilling a fucking exercise challenge, would be a potentially halfway viral video, Ray. So we're
Is that a JoJo reference?
maybe
No, I don't.
Is
think
it?
so. I mean, I think it's a really good thing because then you're leading by example because people shouldn't just be like Wildheart sitting on their ass drinking all day.
Agreed.
I don't know if you know this, but for a series of, I'm pretty sure you do, but for a series of a couple of years, I was just recording my workouts and posting like,
I saw. Yeah, I saw him.
I think Carlos actually. I think we were probably laughing about some of your inspiration.
Well, there was a funny one where Ray was doing. It was either burpees or something like that, and
In the snow, right?
And your camera was a little too high, so like we didn't really like see you doing the push-ups at all. But we just kind of assumed that you were. It was like,
Where'd Ray go? Oh, there he is. Oh, he's gone again. What the fuck? Yeah, I remember that one.
let me tell you, let me paint the picture for you. Okay. So the previous day you just worked 2 physically intensive jobs and also trained really hard. So your body is shot. You feel like lead.
Yeah.
And it's 4 a.m. And you don't want to move. You don't want to do anything. You actually don't even need to do anything. You're at that point where you do not need to do anything to retain your physical level. And then you instead wake up, you go outside in the fucking cold in a pair of shorts, you get in the snow, and you do push-ups. And let me tell you, saying that that you're going to do that is one thing, but actually doing it is a whole different beast, my friend.
Yeah, I agree, and I'll be honest with you, Ray. That's probably not something I ever really desire to do. But you know,
I don't desire to do it either, man. I didn't that.
Well, what is the utility? Are you trying to like basically do your own version of an ice bath for your muscles? Is that what you're doing basically? Or
no? The point is
No,
to
it's
do
just 'cause
something.
it's difficult.
No, the
Oh, it's
point
just
is
'cause
to
it's
do.
difficult. Okay.
No, because it's not really that difficult. The point is to do something you don't want to do first thing in the morning. Something
Why
that will
is
benefit you. Something that will
means my
benefit you that you
definition of
don't want to do.
difficult.
Oh,
Yeah, but that could be as simple as drinking a glass of water. I mean, I don't know. Like, what?
I mean, you got to start somewhere. You got to know your benchmark. If that's the thing the first step you can take is starting with a glass of water, then you should do that.
It's like some sort of Rock Lee philosophy, like stronger every minute more than you were the minute before type thing.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah,
dude.
what's wrong with that? Rock
that's
Lee's
one of
awesome.
I talked to Will about like training him, about him getting in physical shape, and I basically gave him a little starter plan to do, and all it was to do 1 push-up a day.
And he did that, or
yeah, I actually gave him one of my secret techniques, which is to when you think you're done at 1, call you to say don't be a bitch, and then do more than that. Do more
Yeah,
than
I'm
what
up
you're
to about
expecting.
4 or 5, depending on how much.
If your expectation is 1 and you do more than that, that builds something within your brain. It builds discipline. It builds strength. Builds control over yourself. So it's actually like very, very powerful, even though it might not seem it.
I get it. Yeah, that makes sense.
You know, it's hard to say, oh, I'm gonna go to the gym and work out for 2 hours when you haven't ever gone to the gym. It's a lot easier to just do 1 push-up. And so by getting in the act of more forward momentum, you get steam behind your sails, and then you don't even know how far you can go.
When I have time, when I have time to do my workout outside, I do that outside in the snow. But I am getting tired of every time I fucking go outside, I just end up getting sick for fucking like a week. I don't know what that's all about, but I'm pretty sick of that shit.
Well, then don't do that right now. Your body's not there yet, bro.
But right, the good thing about what you just said is that
I keep popping positive, like it was Noro, then it was fucking flu A, flu B. It'll be fucking coronavirus.
Will.
Time. I'm talking about that kind of thing.
What were you saying, Sparkle?
Okay. The good thing about what you just said is that you expect to do 1, but you do more. You increase that number. You expect to do 2, but you do more. You expect to do 3.
Exactly. You push
do
your
more.
benchmark. You got to find your benchmark first. Number 1, step 1, find your benchmark. Number 2, push your benchmark. Every day you want to push your benchmark. And if you keep doing that, well, you'll get to the point where I was, where I had to do 3 hours of training at the gym, like actual training, in order to like get myself to the limit.
Yep.
But Ray, what is the utility of that though? Like what is the end game there? Is it just a perpetual pushing of your limit? Is that just all it is? Is that just what it is about?
At that
Isn't
point,
that
that's
what we're doing with our brains on a regular basis.
that's what it was in the past.
Bodies.
That's what it was.
What is it now? What is it now?
Well, now it's about control and being able to have full autonomy. Let me think about the best way. Give me one moment. Let me think of the best way I want to describe this.
Because I mean, like, do you recognize that there will be a plateau? Like there will be a level to reach.
There's a reason why
how much harder you push. There's not going to really be an improvement above that. Like,
but where is that? Where is that plateau?
Hold on. Well, yeah, that's what I discovered about 4 years ago when I stopped going to the gym. I no longer go to the gym. I no longer use weights, and I'm just in the same physical condition as I was then. In fact, I'm in better physical condition now.
And you're not training as hard.
No, I'm not putting any effort into training at all, to be honest with you.
Well, see, there it is. That was kind of what I was saying. Is like, where is the, like, if you decide to go and do something that's specifically difficult and you're telling me, well, it's my benefit. Well, what was that benefit of you doing, 10 push-ups in the snow as opposed to not?
Oh, it's mental. That's mental. That helps mental, not physically. I mean, it does help a little physically. You get a little bit of strength XP.
Like what is the mental?
Your aversion to pain and discomfort. That's a human thing.
It builds discipline and resilience.
That as well. It builds your tenacity.
Okay, well that's fine. Okay, all right. Well, I won't argue that. That's fine. Okay.
And I guess, by the way, the answer to now is to have supreme control over my body and my energy, and be able to call upon it at any point, which I feel pretty good about right now.
All right, sure. Okay.
Man, I'm pretty
I
excited now
fucking-
for this challenge.
I'm
really
getting so fucking.
I figured
will
you
tell
would be. I was a little disappointed in William not wanting to take it up.
Oh, he's gonna join it. I don't know what it is, but I'll get him in.
All right. Okay. Sounds good.
I think you
Oh, we
guys
could
should do
all
like a
three
sober
do it. If all
October.
three of us could do it, that would even be more amazing.
I mean,
I'm
honestly,
really
I think we should
curious.
invite the community. I think we should invite everybody. Anybody who's got the fucking nuts to actually put in any effort should join. And if you don't, then, and then if you don't, just acknowledge that you are just a weakling, and you'll probably stay that way if you don't ever put in effort.
It will probably just be us. It will,
No, I know that, but I said that for a reason.
No.
I mean, I'm curious to know what it is.
Well, when I know, I'll
Well,
let you
you'll have to wait for the video we'll post, which will be awesome.
Is it
Fair
like,
enough.
is it like something we're gonna have to partake over as like a series of like a period of time, or is it like a one thing, like
A one
100
thing.
push-ups?
It's a
and-
one thing. Yeah, it's a one thing type of deal.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, interesting.
Just
Yeah,
as
I
long as you're strong enough to do that one thing. And it is a time under tension exercise for sure.
Okay.
Like how strong?
It
I
doesn't
think you have
matter.
to
I'm
be
strong
pretty,
enough.
I think you have to be pretty strong to do it, honestly.
Like I probably can't do it.
I don't know. I don't know, Lo. You're tiny. You might.
I'm 5 foot and about 100 pounds.
Is it like hangs?
No.
Pull-ups or something?
What? Wow, Ray, you can't wait, can you? Just
No, I
ask me
can't.
on the phone.
Just fucking
bud. I'll
tell me,
fucking
bro.
Tell ya.
No.
Hey, Will,
so
I'm
excited.
He's so fucking excited. He's like, "Oh, exercise challenge? Yes."
Yeah, bro.
Is it you want to flip?
Dude, well, nobody's ever been able to defeat
Yeah,
me
I
in an
should have
exercise
asked Ray
challenge.
to begin with. I fucking asked Will, and he could not be less interested. I should have asked Ray the whole time. That's what I should have done.
Yeah, always come to the highest level,
Is
bro.
it jumping over a picnic table?
No.
No, we're gonna.
Yeah,
jump
I'll
over
fill
the
that.
Punch bug. Punch bug's driving at us. We got to jump over it, like fucking Kobe Bryant.
It's nothing. No, it's nothing crazy like that. It is an endurance exercise with time under tension exercises. So
Okay, well that means I might have to change up my training then.
I think
What's
you
training?
if you could, if you can't do it, Ray, I think you'd already be pretty close to being able to do it, and you'll see when I.
I mean, if I have 6 weeks, I can promise you I'll be able to.
Well,
do
that's
it.
what I'm saying. Like if I had 6 weeks, I think I can get to where I can do it. So that's
I mean,
fine.
in a
I can
week,
hold my breath for a while.
in a week. By the way, this is I mentioned to Will something about my secret techniques. I literally have a technique I can do where in a week I can pretty much double my power, my strength.
All right.
It's well, you know what? I'll share it. I don't care. It's not. This is one thing I learned. I was kind of wary about sharing any of the tricks or techniques I learned because I don't want the evil to take them. But you have to think like me in order to really like be on my level. Or if like I wanted to be Smokey, I'd have to be able to think like him, which I can't. So anyway, have you heard of the Zenkai boost from Dragon Ball Z? Zenkai.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well that exists.
Okay.
So like after I was training in the gym hard for 7 years. I got to the point where I was training 3 hours a day, right? And then by not doing that heavy weight training, right, giving my body time to atrophy, essentially,
Sure.
allowing the neural pathways to weaken slightly. The next time I go in, I'll get what's called newbie gains. So basically, my strength will go up very quickly in the span of probably about 2 to 3 weeks.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. That's well, I mean, that just sounds like rotating muscle groups, like giving your particular muscle groups enough time to actually not only heal, but then also begin to atrophy, so that when you do start training again, you actually increase the amount of muscle tearing. And therefore,
if you in your training regimen, if you're rotating like a back by,
I always did random
try.
rotations. I always did random rotations because I did want to keep the body chemistry confused. Like I didn't want it to ever get into.
Well, it's good to shake it up.
It
I rotated between the complementary muscle groups, back, by, chest, tri, legs.
Sure.
And then at the end of it, I was just doing everything every day: squats, deadlifts, push-ups, pull-ups,
It's like cross training, basically.
Yeah, I would do sprints. I would do circuits, basically, where for basically I got it so that I would do a full session in about 25 minutes. I would go into the parking lot and smoke some weed for about 20, and then I would go back in and do another session, and I would do that for about 3 hours.
Okay.
And that was fun.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I would absolutely always show up to the gym high, always.
Oh yeah, it's better, bro. You train better, you're focused, because that's the big thing with the gym. Like I can go do bicep curls and stare at my phone.
I noticed
I'm getting like no XP.
Well, I noticed that weed helps me distract from usually like
discomfort.
Like, I can actually push myself to the point of actual muscle exhaustion when I'm high.
Yeah.
So like I'll feel the almost the need or desire to give up on a certain number of reps lower than what I would give up on if I was high. So like I actually will push.
You know why I'm so fucking frustrated having this conversation right now? Is because if I had the fucking time to do any of this shit, I would. I'm just gonna be completely frank here. I don't have one other fucking competent adult to deal with the shit I have to, like the run of the mill shit that normal people should be able to do. I'm doing all of it for everyone all the time, and I got a fucking 3-year-old on top of it. And I'm just so sick of not having any fucking hours in the day. By the time I have, I probably have maybe 2.5, 3 hours out of my actual day, and that's if I'm cutting sleep back to like 4 hours. That's all I have, and every other hour of my fucking day is doing maintenance shit that nobody else is fucking doing. Just normal shit.
Yeah, you've got a full plate, bro.
Does anyone have a tiny violin?
Yeah, I know, and I'm fucking tired of it because I could have been out of this fucking shitty physical. It doesn't matter, but it's just fucking.
You're taking steps out, man. You should be proud of that.
How does Gandalf look?
I'll be honest, dude. I didn't expect you to do a single push-up when I told you that. I didn't expect you to do a single one, so I'm very impressed.
It's just a fucking time problem.
Well,
that's really what it is.
No, not really.
Not really.
I have to have more fucking. What
know-
the fuck do you mean? Not really.
Well, because you can knock out a pretty extensive workout in less than 10 minutes. Like really, you can.
Yeah,
you're not.
Well, that's what I'm fucking working with right now. But I could do more if I had more time. Do you understand that?
Yeah, but where your body's at, too much more probably wouldn't do you that good anyway. To be honest with you,
literally, the 10 minutes is better than nothing.
Yep.
In fact, it's probably prime. I think Ray is right, because even if you did, like, let's say you did 15 or 20 minutes as opposed to 10, that's not going to be a big difference. Like,
you probably would sacrifice form too. You would probably be trying to struggle and push yourself to do extra push-ups or whatever, and then you wouldn't have good form, or you wouldn't be focused on the feeling.
I'll tell you what. In 2014, I got really fucking fat. Like,
I'll teach you right now that you do have time. Well, okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to mute yourself, and I want you to do a push-up right now.
Yeah, all right. Well, hold on. Actually, this room's small. I gotta move this chair.
Yeah, whatever you got to do, bro. We'll fucking meander until you.
I have. By the way, I have 7 minutes before I have to go. I have an obligation to attend.
All right.
But
was there anything you want to talk about before then, though?
No. I was just warning the room if anyone wanted to ask me anything before I have to leave.
Yeah, I want the challenge. I want to know what it is. Do I need equipment, or is it like, am I going to be outside?
I'm back. I gotta move the chair back now.
I could do it in my house.
Do I need to start taking
hell
any
yeah.
steroids?
You don't.
No.
Yeah. No. Yeah. You won't. No. You definitely won't need that. Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Not
never,
yet.
dude.
Okay.
Not yet. Yeah.
Shit's pointless, bro.
I got plenty of track on deck.
Gross. Those people are so fucking disgusting.
No,
You know what?
gross.
I want to
love the
fucking
horse
shit on all those
stuff.
influencers, bro. They think they're so fucking tough and strong, and these fucking like Conor McGregor and all these other fucking
And their
influencers.
necks are just nasty.
Well, it's like, dude, if I take their supplements, if I take their diet plan, if I take all their fucking extras that they add to themselves, they're nothing. They will turn
and their
into nothing.
penis falls off.
If they did the same thing that I
Tiny
do right
balls.
now,
Yeah,
they
do.
would not.
Got Knox disease.
Knock disease. Yeah, and they're tiny balls. Yeah.
Yeah, so if they need all these fucking crutches in order to be that way, they're just weaklings.
No,
Like you'll
Smokey's the
see
next-
these fucking people at the gym. They wear these. They have all the belts on. They have wrist straps. They have chalk. They got gloves on. They got fucking every little addition that they can have, and it takes away from the point of the fucking exercise. If you need those things to lift heavier weight, then you're not ready for the fucking weight. Lower
Well,
the fucking weight.
Ray, I think you'd agree with me when I say that you can clearly ascertain that every bit of that is theatrics and showmanship.
Absolutely.
It's not. You know, there's no real drive any of it other than peacocking, and I think you'd agree. You know that.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, that's why my videos got 0 views and theirs get a shit ton.
And I'll admit too, that's one of the reasons I also kind of enjoy going to the gym at times. You know, I also like to peacock at times. I won't lie, I do it. You know,
Yeah, but you're not doing it to a fucking plethora of people.
Well,
and they're getting
no,
paid for it.
no,
You're
I
not
mean,
shilling your
I'm not
fucking. You're not shilling your
ridiculous about
fucking
it.
green drink. You're not shilling out a green drink, profiting off these people, acting like this fucking supplement that you're taking is this magical pill.
No, I'm not doing any of that. No,
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Well, that's fine. I
That's
agree.
the stuff I dislike. I don't have a problem with peacocking. You know, if you want to go and improve the way you look physically and feel good about it, fine. I think that's a good thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But
Well, I think pretty much everyone does, especially if you've spent a decent amount of time in the gym cultivating your appearance. Like you'll start to wear clothes that kind of start to show it off a bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I stopped wearing shirts.
Well, I started wearing tank tops, very loose fitting tank tops. You know,
Oh,
that was kind of my go to.
Dude, I have this one that's got the turtle hermit symbol on the front and the King Kai symbol on the back tank
Oh,
top.
yeah.
Nice.
And I wore that for like a couple of years straight, bro. I kind of
Yeah.
just like I didn't really wash it that much, I'll be honest, but it didn't really matter because
I had an orange Dragon Ball Z tank top. I don't know what fucking happened to it. But I know it was done, yeah.
Yep. People used to fucking call me Goku whenever I was going by, or ask me if I was training in the art of the Kaioken. To which, of course, I responded yes. I responded yes, of course. Which, yeah, I mean, I thought it was great. But it was so interesting to me going in there. Like I mentioned this earlier, like people doing a bicep curl and they're scrolling through their phone, like on fucking Tinder or some shit while they're doing a bicep curl. And it's like when you're doing the exercise, you're losing XP by not focusing on the exercise, on focusing on the energy transferring from your fucking brain to the muscles that you're activating. And that's like I told Will.
The thing is too is I always work out with time under tension, and I always do it with until exhaustion. I always do the muscle.
You hold shit. You hold shit when you're at the fucking negative or something, or you slow down. Absolutely.
Exactly,
Very powerful.
Exactly. And the thing is, like when and that's what I see a lot of people do is they constantly do exercises where their muscle groups they're exercising are brought to rest. And I'm like, stop doing that. You know, your whole ability to build and cultivate the muscle is going to be time under tension. Like that is exactly how to make sure that you actually rip those muscle fibers and start actually building and gaining. Because otherwise, you're not really doing anything. You're giving your body too much rest in the reps.
I think that that builds a denser muscle when you
I agree.
spend more time under tension. And I think dense
Absolutely.
muscles, that's one of my main focuses. I don't care about size or weight.
Yeah.
I think like strong, dense muscles that are more aerodynamic and more less, they consume less energy. So
Right.
that inherently just makes them better, more efficient.
Right.
Versus like, oh, I want to be 200 pounds and fucking 10% body fat. Like, bro, you're fucking retarded. Shut up.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that's just
Oh,
my
this
take on
is-
fitness.
This has been fun. Carl has to go.
Yeah, I do have to go. It was of
for
course
3
nice.
hours
Nice seeing everyone, including you, Lo. It was really nice seeing you again.
I was gonna. Is this stream always at this time?
It is.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
9 o'clock every Wednesday.
I want to debate this with you. I don't even think it would be a debate, but a discussion next week. Because the reason I wanted to have the feminism.
Who, me
debate
or
with
Will?
you, probably
Me?
both of you, about how I think that modern liberal / feminist men actually hate women.
They hate themselves.
But
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
think that's
particularly
I don't think
I don't
that's
think
gonna be
that's really a debate.
Wait. Did you say feminist men? Don't you just mean women?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like any man who's like whatever the definition of feminism
think,
now.
if anything, Lo, I think even if it's not a debate or any contrary opinions, it would be fun to hear your perspective on it. So I'm down.
I would say most modern men generally just hate women.
Oh, I definitely
who
do. I hate women.
I love women.
Any woman who
women are
acts
the
like a
ones
woman
got
is
tits.
modern
I like. Well, I like parts of them.
Yeah, tits. Big fan.
I hate people on an individual basis. So
You
beyond
shouldn't.
that bullshit.
I don't need anybody. I love the worms and the fucking charlatans. I love them because there's somebody I get to crush.
There you go.
I like crushing people, man. If I didn't have them, if everybody was on Jesus's path, I wouldn't be able to crush anybody.
Well,
So
see,
that
Ray,
sucks.
Ray is more aligned to me than I even thought, because that is definitely a
Yeah.
methodology I have as well. So yeah.
He does have a good.
Well,
team.
but Ray, I get that with Ray because Ray's a warrior. He wants to go slice down the demons. So
It's very
he,
lawful evil of him.
you know,
Fuck
he would
yeah.
be someone that would be good as a, defender of the faith and truth. So there's that.
Yeah, dude,
He'd
I'll
be a
defend.
good crusader.
Yeah. Oh
Fuck
yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Templar. Sure. Yeah.
Oh
Absolutely.
hell yeah, dude.
Jesus H. Christ on a bicycle.
Okay. Well. Okay. So I gotta go. I love all you guys.
All right. Yeah.
Love
I'll
you
see
too,
you next
Smokey.
week.
Have a good day.
I'll pray for
Guys,
you,
take care.
Smokey.
See you next
Bye.
week. Yep. I'll actually schedule it this time. Bye.